Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher. Bill, the Packer fan and Packer owner, Nick. They run a website for Packer news and updates, and I know Packer news hasn't been so great lately because we got some players that are not Packers anymore that you loved at one time, but you might hate a little bit right now.
Two great running backs. We have a competent offensive line.
He's saying that he felt in November and December that they didn't want him back.
Get a little safety in that position. Either we go.
There's no reason to believe we can't return, but.
And they already came out. There's a couple guys that came out and said that Rodgers is telling
solution of it, and don't let them go for anything under than one.
And you know what, Packer fans? The Bears still suck. So go Pack Go, and good luck to Bill and Nick, their website and their Packer news. Talk to you later.
It's a lot easier to come in and skip doing mop-up duty, but he threw the ball all. He kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers the way he was throwing the ball sidearm and just flicking the wrist, and the ball was just jumping out of his hands. Agreed.
Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Frozen Tundra Network on Friday nights. Let's go.
Let's go. Go, Pack, go.
Bears definitely do still suck. We're going to talk about that later. God, did they suck. But let's get into it. Thanksgiving was the last time that we played against the Lions in Detroit on Thursday morning football. And, the Green Bay Packers, they gave them a 0% chance to win. They even seared the turkey with a Lions emblem and didn't expect Jordan Love to hold a turkey leg, long tradition that was broken right there. But
yeah,
guess what happened, Packers fans? We won the game, didn't we? And I feel like we actually might have dominated the game in somewhat a lot of aspects. But you know what? Why don't you guys go ahead and tear it open and tell me what you saw in that game?
What I want to say is that Lions offensive line got destroyed. I mean destroyed.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean destroyed. I mean, Rashawn Gary, three sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a recovery. Man, he destroyed that offensive line. Decker, man, he got
We dominated from the start.
Yeah, all game
it was
long.
Complete domination from the jump.
They got that last score in garbage time, and 48 seconds left. Come on now. They can say, "Oh, you boy beat us by 7." That's bullshit. They know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
they beat us in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Look, man, the first game they whooped us, and we owed them a beating, and we gave it to them. That's it. We just gave it back to them.
Yeah.
What's up, Junior?
And you know what? Let's be honest. No matter what Lions fans say at this point, and it's not all Lions fans. There's a lot of realistic ones also. But,
good wins.
No matter what they say at this point, they fucking lost. They're salty. They're just going to try to lick the wound and move on. But let's be honest about this. This actually might have brought to light a little bit more than that. Maybe the Lions aren't nearly as good as they and a lot of other people thought that they were.
Well, since the Ravens game, the ass whooping the Ravens gave them, they haven't been playing the greatest, tell you the truth. They really haven't. Their offensive line, the past 3 games, has not played all that great. And then their secondary's garbage. You got Sutton. He's all right. He ain't great, but he's all right. But and now they lost that linebacker, that Zone or whatever his name is. That's
Anzalone. They lost him. He's out. Anzalone's out
for a few games. Yeah,
because he is their key to their defense.
Yeah, they do have great linebackers.
The Lions' defense has been bottom of the pack. Really the whole season. The only times they win is in shootouts. You know what I mean? They got to outscore their opponents, but their defense.
They got a top 5 offensive. I know it. If I'm not mistaken, the Detroit Lions have the number 1 offensive line at the time.
I think it's down to 2 now.
Yeah, after that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got swept around all game long.
Yeah, but that PFF, I don't know. That PFF and stuff, I don't even go by that stuff because, you just watch the game. They got destroyed. And the week before, the Bears destroyed that offensive line.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
The lowly Bears that couldn't score.
Wasn't for the last 30 seconds of the game. The Bears almost stole it from them.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if they had injuries on the O-line or whatnot. I didn't check no injuries.
And that's another thing. We're so half our team was banged up.
we had half a team.
Damn.
16 injured, 16 players on IR last week.
The score didn't reflect
Like a
how
third of
bad
our
Green
team.
Bay
Our third of our team was out, man, and we still fielded a team and won. I just don't understand how we did it.
So
Somebody explain it to me.
We have an Eagles fan on here. We're in a unique position to get an outside perspective. Shaq, go ahead and tell me what you were going through just now and what you saw.
Well, yeah, what I saw was the score for one doesn't reflect truly how bad the Packers beat the shit out of the Detroit Lions. They got garbage time points, but from start to finish, it was all Green Bay. I mean, period. Every aspect of the game, offense, defense, special teams, whatever, however you want to look at it, Green Bay dominated that game from start to finish. You know,
Exactly.
You got garbage time points. It made the game a little bit closer, but if you really break down the game and look at from start to finish, first quarter, fourth quarter, Green Bay had that shit in the back from the jump.
Yeah. I couldn't believe we won the coin toss and elected to take it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that definitely.
Yeah, but we talked about it.
Hey, Nick, do you want to comment
Yeah,
on this?
Oh, isn't that the guy that cried and left the group?
This is the guy that his starting quarterback has less wins in 3 years than our starting quarterback. How many games?
It's the same like Justin Fields hasn't won but he has been injured every 3 years. Every year he's been injured. He hasn't had a full season yet. He's always injured. He's injured for
Justin Fields could hit a park semi in the end zone. Jordan Love dimes in the end zone.
Jordan Love already has more passing touchdowns and more passing yards in a season than Justin Fields ever has. So,
and what's that? What's that, Fancy Treasures? What's that? What's on everybody's mind?
I don't know. But let's go. Let's do a rundown real quick.
I'm thinking that's
Jordan Love went 22 for 32, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. The week before, he had more than 300 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's been on fire. Now, one thing I'm sick of hearing is when we beat the Chargers and Jordan Love played really well.
Taylor Swift.
This time, and then everyone said, wait till you get to Detroit. Well, now that we beat Detroit, Detroit's defense isn't as good as their rank it. Dude, they're a top 10 defense. They just keep moving the goalposts, moving and moving and moving. Jordan Love could throw 5 touchdowns, no interceptions against the Niners defense, and they'd go, well, the Niners had the flu that day. You know what I mean? So I thought it was dominance. I thought our defense played great. Me and Isaac talked about on the coin toss. We wanted to see LaFleur say, take the fucking ball and then take a deep shot immediately. And what happened? That's exactly what happened. We won the coin toss. We received the ball, which nobody thought we were going to do. First play, 53 yards down the field to Christian Watson, started the game by punching them in the mouth. That's what you have to do. This team that talks about how they're so aggressive and they punch other teams in the mouth, man, they got fucking knocked silly that day. We were the aggressors.
And being
Those
more
receivers
injured.
were coming to life.
We started off right from the jump.
Yeah, the receivers are looking better every week.
Jordan Love was sat back there.
Watson actually showed up.
Jordan Love was in the back, fucking calling his mom, eating some breakfast. And fucking, lucky, I'll pick him, I'll throw to him. He had all day back there. But they have no pass rush. Where was fucking Hutchinson? Where was he?
Yes, we will, Fancy.
I remember that one play when Kraft fucking threw Hutchinson on the ground, just tossed him out of the way like a rag doll, and he caught a touchdown on him.
He got warmed up the whole freaking game.
Bro,
no matter
Jordan Love had his best game statistically against the Lions. Correct? That's his best game statistically.
There was 2 other moments.
And it was against the Lions.
That
No, but he had a 125 rating. It's a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game. There's 2 other moments in that game that I can think of that really knocked the Lions down, and it was when Branch got carried into the end zone.
Branch got picked on all day.
Yeah, right on his back. Brought him right into the end zone, and we kind of went, he kind of flexed on him, and then not only that, my favorite one was when Valentine on Amon-Ra St. Brown was trying to rip the ball from him. I thought he picked it at first, but he didn't after replay. But he was in his face, and he wasn't letting go. He's like, I'm not backing down today, big guy.
No. Valentine, for a 7th-round rookie, man, he's playing damn good.
Yeah. And it's like Shaq was just saying, the wide receivers, it looks like they're starting to get it together all of a sudden. You got You got Reed, Dobbs, and you got Watson. You could throw it to either one of them.
Reed and Love's connection right now is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That laser that he threw for that first touchdown, you couldn't ask for a better pass.
But one thing about I will say on that fucking play, I swear to God, that fucking Watson ran the wrong route.
You think so?
Yep.
That tight end is nice too, man.
Oh, Kraft.
Well, we didn't have
Kraft,
Musgrave, but I do like Musgrave a lot. Kraft actually did show up. He scored a touchdown, I believe, right? Yeah, he did.
I like that.
Yeah, he scored.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a beautiful tight end duel for a while.
He kind of grabbed Hugginson and threw him on the ground and fucking caught it for a touchdown.
Field position is actually solid, man. If Aaron Jones can stay healthy,
Bro.
you know what I mean? There's good players around Jordan Love.
With the way Dylan has been playing recently, and especially last game, I'm honestly not too worried about not having Jones. It'd be nice to have him, but I don't think it's going to be as make or break as it used to be because Dylan has gotten the fire under him now.
And I like Taylor, too. I like him, so.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing with the A.J. Dillon, he doesn't bring as a dynamic playmaker as Aaron Jones does in the pass game, right?
Yeah.
But when you got Watson, you got Reed, and you got these guys making the plays, you don't need a pass-catching running back.
No.
And I'm going to be honest with you, ain't nobody trying to tackle that big-ass son of a bitch, A.J. Dillon, bro. That is a big
You see him leaping over the damn guy?
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that shit.
So,
he runs. And
so is Aaron Jones done in Green Bay?
Well,
I don't know.
He's out this week.
After the season, I think you
Yeah,
will be.
I'd say at the end of the season.
I think
You know what I'm saying? I think it's his last. This might be his last season, bro.
We're going to have 11 draft picks.
He may come up. He may be done given his age.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. If this was Aaron Jones' last season as a Packer, I wouldn't be surprised. He's
I don't think
injury-prone.
Jones would be
It's not
gone.
like this is the first time thing. This man stays hurt. He's always hurt. And if A.J. Dillon, like you said, if A.J. Dillon keeps playing the way he's playing, there's no need to worry about, when's Aaron coming back? When's Aaron coming back? You got
The thing
AJ.
is, though,
he's
Both contracts are up.
I feel like our offense is the most deadly when we have both A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. Because Aaron Jones will...
Absolutely, but I think it'd be a lot easier to replace an Aaron Jones type than Dillon.
Yeah.
I think that the power and speed that he's been bringing is too hard of a combination where you get a lot of these receiving type of running backs. Yeah, they're not going to be as good at both, but I think we can replace that a bit.
You can find a pass-catching running back anywhere. I mean, everybody come out of college and pass-catching running back now.
I agree on
you don't
this.
have too many just 3 down back, down.
Well, we still have
running backs like A.J. Dillon. You don't have too many of those in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm still a little skeptical with A.J. Dillon only on the account of
me too.
Where has his production been going since he first came into the league? Like those yards per game, those yards per carry that he's had, they look like they had regressed from where he started.
I almost wonder if Jaden Reed should play running back.
Yeah, but he's
hard to catch.
Bro, he's so fast. He's so fast.
But my thing is, like, if A.J. Dillon's going to ever make the transition to be an RB1, he's going to have to be much more aggressive and violent as a runner.
I want to see
Especially
Wilson
going
more.
between
I want
those
to see
Right.
Wilson more.
He doesn't. You're right. You are so right, A-Dub.
No,
I'm a big...
A.J. Dillon has the benefit of Aaron Jones wearing offenses down in the pass game and stuff like that, and so he can come in there and be the bruiser.
Yeah.
That's all he really was known for. He's 3rd and 1, goal line. That's A.J.'s bread and butter. That's what he does. You know what I mean? But like you said, if he wants to become running back one,
start of the season he wasn't there, man. Start of the season he was not. He couldn't get 1 yard. He was like averaging 1.8 yards a carry. It was
clear regression. A-Dub said it. There was a clear regression where it's like, hey, even last year, you know what I mean? There was signs and sparks every game, every now and then. You were like, whoa, AJ could be that guy. You know what I mean? He'll come out there, give you 70, 80 yards on, 20 touches or whatever. You're like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. But there has been a very clear regression, and I don't know if that's the effect of Aaron Jones not being in there to kind of beat, like, you know what I mean? Jab up the defense a little bit, and then you send your bruiser out there, and those 1 and 2 yard carries turn to 5 and 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
The thing about us always having Jones and Dillon together out there is they complement each other in terms of where one is weak, the other makes up for. Like Jones is not much of a bruiser; he's more of a speed and agility type. Where AJ Dillon is supposed to be our powerhouse bruiser. It's just a matter of how they complement each other on the run.
yeah, it's like a thunder and lightning type.
Yeah.
I was saying AJ Dillon had a pretty couple good solid rips during the Lions game. You know what I'm saying? He kept them on their toes where they still had to watch the run game.
He shows signs of it. He does, and that's what I'm saying. But
he's been running better the last few games for sure.
You gotta have that consistently.
Yeah, I don't.
Every now and again, or 1 or 2 runs in a game, you have to be the type of running back that when defenses line up across from you, they know this guy could break one. This guy could be a game changer. AJ Dillon hasn't made.
Well, he's not that threat. He's not that threat.
Yeah.
You don't have the for that.
Exactly.
That's what worries me about getting.
He doesn't. He don't have that, bro. He don't have that factor.
We would have to keep
you don't
using
have
Wilson.
the game breaker factor, and I think that's what A-Dub's trying to say is that's
We
where
would
the
have to-
complementary thing comes in with Aaron Jones. Is Aaron Jones is your game breaker, and then you have the bruiser, like I said, goal line, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You just get a couple yards because the man's like 245 pounds with quads the size of a tree trunk.
Aaron Jones
Want to get 1
Dillon
yard.
is good in December. He's awesome in December.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Jones, you can.
Yeah, he sucked, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling. Week 2 through week 5, he was like the worst running back ever. I'm serious, man. The worst.
On the roster,
the worst.
running back roster. AJ Dillon has to be handcuffed to someone to succeed. AJ Dillon can't be by himself singularly as the only good running back and succeed. It won't work.
We got to see Wilson and see what he does.
At least.
Yeah,
And of course,
I know. So Wilson just was getting started.
And I was just gonna say, as you say that about Dillon needing someone to help him. The only time I say you use Dillon, it depends on how good of a run block you have in front of you too. That's gonna be a factor.
Oh yeah. I think, especially with how good the offensive line has been playing, that's factoring into it. That he can now finally start to get a little bit of a head of steam, instead of as soon as he's getting that handoff and getting by the line of scrimmage, there were guys meeting him right in the hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll be getting some more linemen in the draft. I mean, we like I said, we got 11 picks this year, and we got two twos, 2 3s, and we're loaded, man. Fucking.
I see us getting a left tackle.
We don't have to waste our first round pick on a quarterback. You know what I mean? So that we take a lot of stress off. We can build up a whole lot. Whatever we need to do, we got the picks to do it.
Definitely.
That's what we're gonna have next year. You know what I mean?
I would like to see the one. I would like to see the number one. They'll go for the offense this year.
Yeah,
it's been going for the defense for many years.
I'm gonna mention
the defense is finally starting to come together, so we don't need to put that into it.
I'm gonna mention a name that nobody has ever said on any podcast or show before, and it's gonna hurt the Lions' feelings. But his name is Sean Ryan. And this guy, Sean Ryan, when you go back to the highlights, none of their defensive linemen could get by the guy, not even Hutchinson. He just could not get by this guy. So our offensive line is starting to look deeper and better than it was at the beginning of the year. It looked like it was inept and weak, and now it's starting to look like we're putting guys in the right place all of a sudden. Wow. And you know, I was a big believer that Nyman needs to be out there, but now I'm starting to think like maybe he doesn't need to be out there.
Ryan, he manhandled fucking Hutchinson.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
and my thing about you mentioned Sean Ryan, at least that's 1 3rd-round pick for Green Bay that's panning out accordingly.
Yeah.
Do that. So I mean, look, we got John Runyon still. Myers has not been horrible. I expected him to be actually worse this year than he actually is. We still got Jenkins, who's a beast, obviously. Walker, I got to be honest, I don't like Walker very much.
I think we need to upgrade from him, but I absolutely love having Zach Tom at right tackle.
Zach Tom is the best offensive lineman we possibly have. Him and Jenkins are like in a battle for best offensive lineman we have right now.
Yeah.
Dude, Zach Tom does not ever get fucked with, man. He just doesn't.
Oh, do you think
You see the
Bakhtiari's
freaking size of the guy.
You think Bakhtiari's
built like a damn.
You heard about that, right?
I think if we make the playoffs, Bakhtiari will be back. If we don't, I think he'll be shut down all year, and we'll have a tough choice to make.
If he can prove he's not going to be injury prone, and they actually got the issue resolved, because the issue was he kept getting fluid or blood around.
Yeah, that's I heard too. Yeah.
So right before this last surgery, they said that this is absolutely will stop it.
Yeah.
So if he could get that,
he's gonna have to take a massive restructure.
For sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I've been vocal to most groups about wanting to see us cut our ties with him if he couldn't stay healthy. Like at some point, even after this year, I say we better address having his replacement ready.
Yeah,
the money we're gonna lose if we get rid of him is astronomical.
No, that's this year. Next year we have a way out. It's less.
No, I know. I was talking if he's not coming back this year, and we're like, you know what? Fuck this. We're losing.
You know what we're gonna do? You know what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? We're gonna trade him to the Jets. Instead of getting their second, they're gonna give us their first and then a fourth. So they keep their second.
Bakhtiari. Take him.
Yeah.
Take him. I honestly don't give a shit anymore. Take Bakhtiari.
If they gave us that deal,
worth the first rounder?
Well, no, if we got their second, right now because of Rodgers. They owe us their second. So instead of getting a second, give us a first, and we'll give you Bakhtiari, and you get Rodgers and Bakhtiari. You get the first.
I don't know. It's going to be difficult for anybody to give up a first for someone who is injury prone.
What he's saying is we give back their second.
Like a guy who's been injured multiple.
Rodgers ain't even took a snap yet.
He's not. He's not saying.
Look, we get it.
Get a first for Bakhtiari.
Peak Bakhtiari is one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL, bar none. Bro,
Yeah.
when you got a guy who's injured all the time.
When he's healthy.
Yeah, first rounder. That's
what he's saying is we have the Jets' second round pick already. We give him back the second round pick and upgrade it for a first, and we give him David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's actually not a bad trade. It's not like you're actually giving a first for Bakhtiari. You're moving down around.
A first for Rodgers and Bakhtiari. A combo deal.
It's not even about the play anymore. We've found some pretty good fucking offensive linemen, especially in the last, 2-3 decades we have in the draft. It's about the money for me. I can't watch Green Bay pay this man this much money to do fucking every year.
Well, and here's the thing about that second round pick. It's pretty much increasing higher and higher to where it's going to be around a 30-something pick of the draft, where you might be getting a late first rounder with that pick, considering the kind of season the Jets are having.
Yeah. Well, they're not having a really good season now. What's their record? 3 wins or something like that?
4-7.
4-7?
Yeah. 4-7, yeah, something like that.
The season started off, and now we're talking about the Green Bay Packers actually being in the hunt.
I never said a first for fucking Bakhtiari now. Jesus.
So last night, did you watch the game last night, Bill?
No, I did not.
Oh man, that was a hell of a game.
It was.
There we go.
No punts.
So where it says Seattle, it's actually 6-6 now. We are half a game behind Seattle and Minnesota right now. And if we win on Sunday, we're actually in the 7th spot ahead of Seattle. So I can't believe
we win.
Got a tough schedule. They got to play, I believe, the Niners,
the Chiefs, and the Niners.
And
now,
and us.
the Chiefs
And
this week. If we beat the Chiefs this week, we got the Giants, the Panthers, the Bears, and the Vikings.
That's easy win.
So after the Chiefs, you could say it's merely smooth sailing.
They're reeling.
Well, the big question is
you got that right, A-Dub.
Is Jordan past Aaron Rodgers' starting year?
Yeah, I couldn't believe this stat when I saw it.
Rookies and
bro, it's like they're mirrored. It's like a mirror.
That's the perfect meme right there. The spider.
That is crazy. Look at that.
Hey, Green Bay cloned Aaron Rodgers.
Think about it though. I'm not gonna lie. If you look at the, I mean, let's take the Cleveland Browns for example. If Joe Flacco ends up being the starter for them, they had like almost 30 starters in the last how long? Green Bay, it was Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now you got Jordan Love. Jordan Love is solid. Like honestly, the last few weeks of me watching Jordan Love play football, it is what they went and drafted him for.
Yeah.
He was big hype. I live in Utah State. Everybody was Jordan Love, and the guy's a baller. And you know, with Matt LaFleur and their system, the sky's the limit, and the guy's got the talent. It's there.
Yeah.
He's showing it.
Hey, Nick, I like this guy, man. You need to bring him on more often.
Well, hey,
Man, bro.
I'm gonna say this: Jordan Love playing as well as he is gonna solidify that he might have came from the best QB draft class ever. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
That 2020 QB draft class is proven to be one of the best when it comes to
Yeah,
including Jordan Love in it.
Yeah.
Guys like Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
even Jalen Hurts, all them guys are shining for that class. Even Tua over there in Miami.
You got some top tier guys coming out of that. Justin Herbert, man, he needs to be on a different team or a new coach. they gotta get Staley out of there, bro.
See what I think is gonna happen at the Chargers? I think they're gonna grab Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson will go to them.
It's bad, man. It's bad. You're wasting.
It's definitely the coach, man. They got the talent over there. They got talent on both sides, man.
I agree.
Holy shit!
You gotta go, man. Because you bring Kellen Moore in, who is an offensive genius, right? He had last year the Dallas Cowboys highest points per game, yards per game, all that shit, right? And then you send him over to the Chargers. You're like, oh wow, this might work out to be something solid. And then Staley just sprinkles that BS on top of it. And Justin Herbert just over there just getting pushed to the wayside, wasting a generational talent in Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert reminds me a lot of Andrew Luck. Like, they have extremely strong arms. They can get the ball into tight windows. Dude, when they need to, they take off, and they're really big guys, so they're hard to take down. And not only that, they're on shitty franchises that are wasting their career and their talent. Like,
it's because of the coaching. Because remember that year, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers had the #1 offense and defense and lost in the first round of the playoffs or the second round? Bro, it's the coaching. It's like, bro, you guys, like, what are we doing here? And it's like, as bad as it seems, if you look at Justin Herbert's record, I think after their last loss, he's one below 500 now. He was literally like 48-48 as a starter, which is crazy. But it's Staley. It's the coaching, because put Justin Herbert on a Green Bay. Jordan Love is good, but he put a Justin Herbert on a Green Bay, put a Justin Herbert on the Eagles, Baltimore. You put him on one of these good teams, and the guy is an MVP candidate. Yeah. He's got that kind of talent. And as it stands right now, the way the Chargers look, it might be early to call it, but if he stays with the Chargers, he might have a Phillip Rivers type career.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I could see. Well, now we all see why Eli didn't want to go there.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers is a lost talent. Also, I mean, dude, there's a lot of people that talk about should he be in the Hall of Fame. Look how much he didn't accomplish.
Definitely be in the Hall of Fame.
But my point is, look how much he never accomplished, like Super Bowls and MVPs and blah blah blah, all these awards, right? And they're still like, should he be in the Hall of Fame? That means this man was really, really, really good. He just was wasted, man.
Yep.
Just
Bro,
like
think about what
just
Phillip
like
Rivers did when he
just
went
like
to
Dan Marino.
in a good system over there in Indianapolis. Bro, he was Indianapolis. That was Phillip Rivers on his last leg and went 11-5.
Yeah,
he was in a good system.
So look, I'm gonna mention this real quick. We're gonna sew this first part of it up. The Seahawks. It wasn't the Chiefs. They got the Niners next, not the Chiefs. The Niners and the Eagles in their next 2 games. And then they got Tennessee after that, who's not a pushover. Tennessee can win that game. They got the Cardinals last game of the season. I'll give them that win easy. That is 3 out of their last 4 that are definitely – or I'm sorry, they got the Steelers and then the Cardinals. Even the Steelers they could lose to.
Oh, yeah, the Steelers have turned it up recently after getting rid of Canada.
The way the Seahawks offensive line just looked against Dallas, and the Steelers have just as good of a defensive line, and they got good DB. They got a good defense, which is what's winning them these games most of the time. They're going to get after the Seahawks. Gino's going to be under a lot of pressure, and they're going to have a lot of opportunities to get interceptions, turnovers, whatnot. Steelers could easily win that game.
That's 4 out of 5 games.
And you can also say the Steelers. And you could say the Steelers are going to look better on offense since they fired Matt Canada.
And what was their first game in like over 50 games? They went over 400 yards on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was last game.
Yeah, their last game. They went over 400 yards for the first time in like 50 games.
So that's 4 out of the next 5 for the Seahawks that are definitely not like easy winnable games right there, right? We got the
I'm
Vikings.
gonna tell you right now, they're losing to the Eagles and the Niners.
Yeah. So we got the Vikings also who are right behind. That's the Raiders. Not a good team. The Bengals, Joe Burrow's probably not going to be there. I don't think he will.
He's not.
So
He's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so that's two easily winnable games right there for them. Then you got, here's where it turns for them, though. You got the Lions, the Packers, and then the Lions. I feel like you could lose all three of those very easily. So we're sitting right behind these two teams, and they got 3 to 4 games that it's looking like you most likely will lose those games. So destiny is within our own hands at this point. You don't have to beat the Chiefs. You don't have to beat the Chiefs. I don't want Packers fans to think that we have to beat the Chiefs.
If you lose to the Chiefs and win out, that puts you at what, 10-7?
Yes.
Yeah, if we win out and we lose, we'll be 10-7. Yeah.
That might, I mean, the thing is, the way it's shaping out, that you could be battling for either 6 or 7 at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that puts you well within the playoffs, obviously.
And you know what's going to happen? The Packers are going to get in the playoffs and we're going to knock out the Lions.
Yep. That's what I'm hoping for.
I
So
could easily
if we-
see that. I could
if
see
we
that.
beat the
for sure.
Vikings
It's happened
at the
before,
end.
man. It's happened before.
We beat the Vikings at the end, and the Vikings lose at least one of the two to the Lions, right? That will put them at 3-3 in the division. That'll put us at 4-2 in the division. We'll have that tiebreaker over them because the head-to-head will be split. So if we do happen to tie with the Vikings in some sort of weird way, we have a tiebreaker over them now. Currently, we have a breaker of many ties over the Seahawks currently. So as long as the Seahawks can keep losing games, and if we need the Seahawks to lose to the Steelers because we lost to them, so we need them to lose that game.
Nick,
But-
what's the Detroit Lions record right now?
They're 8-3.
8-3,
8-3,
8-4.
yeah.
Is
They're
8-3.
Soon to be 8-4 soon.
8-3.
Well, no, I was gonna say because if you guys have the tiebreaker with the Lions, right, or the Vikings,
The Vikings. We don't have the tiebreaker with the Lions right now.
Oh, the guy's 10-7.
Lions
for the season.
8-3,
You did, Chad. He did.
We would need the Lions to lose to the Vikings or to the fucking Bears. We would need them to like lose a division game, and then we'd have to see what our head-to-heads are, and then we'd see what the tiebreakers are at that point.
well, that's what it was. If they got to drop one to the Bears or the Vikings, then if you guys both end the season, let's just say 10-7, right? Because the Detroit. Well, I got to look at what the Detroit Lions rest of their schedule is. I think it's actually pretty easy for the most
Their
part.
next
No,
game.
not really.
Their next game is against the Saints right now.
The Saints, they play the
Got
Saints.
them winning that
They got to
game.
play the Cowboys.
Hey, I know, but the Saints, again, the defense, it's just, I
So,
don't trust Derek Carr as far as
It's
I
definitely not crazy easy. They got the Saints. They better win that game. They got the Bears. They're going to beat the Bears. Then they got the Broncos, who are hot as fuck right now. Then they got the Vikings. You just never know with these division games. You got the Cowboys after that. I think the Cowboys are going to
I wouldn't even put off the Bears because
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it took a miracle fourth quarter comeback with 4 minutes left for them to beat the Bears.
And
So I would
I don't
not
care-
sit there and try to just brush the
And these
Bears
Lions
off
are acting like
they
there's
got that
nothing.
one.
Yeah, and these Lions are acting like there's nothing
and
wrong
truth
with their
be
team.
told, and truth
And
be
the
told,
Bears
when you
defense has actually been playing really good football.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you could
So-
say for the Bears got the same problem the Chargers have. They say it's their coaching.
Exactly. Was it Eberflus? Like, bro,
Yeah.
it's just
Uh,
bad over there. Man.
I think it's a lot more to do with management than coaching at this point. How many coaches
Well, it's
can you
all the
throw in
above.
there and
It's
they
all
just
the
do this?
above.
Yeah,
It's all the above.
it's from the neck up, right? But
Yeah.
And the
I also-
quarterbacks too. I mean, Justin Fields. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not going to be a franchise quarterback.
I do think that they're giving out way too many passes for Fields because at the beginning of the year, they went, well, now there's no fucking excuses, right? Because he's got the weapons, he's got the offensive linemen they wanted, he has the defensive players, and the defense is like fucking top 10 this year, I'm pretty sure, aren't they, in total?
I know the last few weeks for sure, they've been in the top.
Their rushing defense is top number one. They got the number one rushing defense.
So, but again, I give Justin Fields a little bit of leeway because I understand, like, hey, yeah, you got some stuff around you, but again, that we can say the same thing for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, you got all these weapons, you got all this, woo woo woo, but when your coach is terrible, it's gonna reflect on the field. Man.
Yeah.
It is. It's just how it works. You know what I
So
mean?
the Bears are ninth. The Bears are ninth overall in defense. They have a good defense.
They
Look,
have a good defense, which
last
no one
game-
thought once they got rid of Roquan. But they've
The Monday night's game is the epitome of why I just don't see Justin Fields ever being that guy for them. Like, he's a great runner. He's a great athlete. He has some nice passes. Like, he has moments of, like, great passes. At the end of the game, they won the game because he made a nice deep pass down the middle. He hit his dude in stride. They got down. They kicked the field goal. They won the game, right? So, that was to get the first down. Yeah, and kick the field goal and win the game.
Well,
that pass to
they
DJ
bet.
Moore, I believe
Well,
it was.
you could say the Bears still have cleaning up to do because you ain't gonna have another game like that where you could live off of field goals and win like they did against.
But that's my
Minnesota.
point. All game, you didn't do anything. And not only that, Justin Fields tried so hard to fumble the ball away, like to give the game away. He just, stop holding the ball out. If you're going to take off running, secure it. He hasn't learned yet. It's crazy to me.
My only thing, Nick, is look at the play calling. If you looked at Justin Fields' complete chart, there was nothing more than like 4 or 5 yards down.
Passes.
It was all screen passes.
Yeah.
It was quick. It was quick screens.
That's why I made that meme.
Quick slants. They don't. I don't know if it's because they don't have the faith in him.
Justin fumble
to
fields.
let him throw the ball downfield, but if. Again, that's the coaching. They're not letting him throw the ball. They're saying, hey, we're going to throw you a wide receiver screen 2-3 plays in a row and just hope DJ Moore or one of these guys goes and makes a play for yards after the catch.
You got two individuals on the blame on the Bears for that play calling. Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I want to see Justin Fields in an offense where they give him the opportunity. Because remember what they said about Jalen Hurts. He can't throw the deep ball. He's not accurate downfield, yada, yada, yada. Okay, you give him an offense that allows for him to grow as a player, to go do those things. He has one of the best deep balls in the game.
Yep. And also Hurts got a trustworthy receiving core to work with.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But
when
that's
it comes
why you
to
got DJ Moore. You wouldn't got certain weapons, even though against DJ Moore. But Cole Kmet is a legit tight end. He's not bad. Cole Kmet is good, man. And it's just, you got to allow Justin Fields he's going to make mistakes. He'll make mistakes. But if you're going to have him just throwing 4-yard outs and wide receiver screens behind the line of scrimmage, guess what? You're going to get a 23 completion for 185 yards.
Problem is, he was supposed to break out. This was supposed to be the year that he breaks out. This was supposed to be the year that he proves he can pass the ball like an elite passer. This is supposed to be the year that all these things were supposed to happen, and I don't see any of them. I don't.
He can't stay healthy. In all these years, the 3 years he's been in, he's never been healthy. He's always hurt.
Listen, I agree with you, Nick. It was supposed to be his breakout year, and I understand that. But again, I want to see a breakout year where he has some solid offensive play calling. Give him that opportunity.
Well, this play calling makes you wonder, what are they seeing in practice that they don't want to let him throw it more than a couple of yards?
That's what I was saying earlier. It's like, I think that, it has, maybe there's some, there's
there's got to be some reason that they don't trust this guy to throw it.
Or they're just like, hey, let's go ahead and secure a top 3 draft pick and go get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Carolina pick.
All right, so
that'd be something to purposely take 2 years.
Welcome, Darcy, to the Frozen Tundra Network. How you doing?
Oh, just living the COVID dream, living the trucking dream, whatever you want to call it. Long day today, 12-hour day today, so just got home and want to talk some football with some knowledgeable guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem. What's on your mind today?
Well, I'm wondering who is the better edge rusher from Michigan, Rashawn Gary or Aiden Hutchinson? And listen to this.
You're asking the wrong panel that question.
I was just going to say, you're going to jump in here on a Green Bay Packers podcast and ask the best edge rusher.
Let me finish my take here.
Especially after having the week he just had against the Lions. Come on, man. Hands down, Rashawn Gary.
Okay, so do you guys? I'm going out on a limb here. I already said Baltimore going to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I'm going on a limb here. Rashawn Gary gets comeback player of the year.
I would be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised.
With the way he at the beginning, and
Well, since you're on here, Darcy.
With DeMar, has he played very much? I know he maybe played one game. I heard he was playing.
Oh
but...
no, I was just joking. DeMar Hamlin hasn't really played, and I'm not giving him comeback player of the year. I was just
well, I did it. That was one of my things I said at the beginning.
Hey,
we got
Darcy.
Don't be surprised if DeMar gets it because he died and came back to life. You probably get it.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't been playing. I don't think DeMar's. I think DeMar like you said. I think DeMar's probably played like 1 or 2 games, but he hasn't even been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so there might be an asterisk.
I think.
So Rashawn Gary asterisk DeMar.
I think Rashawn Gary gets it. It's
okay.
like I said, especially like Robert said, especially after that game on Thanksgiving.
Well,
that boy had a break. Hey,
hang on.
You guys still eating that cheese? You're all happy? All you slappies are happy, aren't you?
Bro, it's just Darcy. Our quarterback's getting every week. Our defense is getting better every week. We have a lot to be happy about. Don't come in here and shit on our parade, man.
Well,
hang on.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
I got a question for Lions fans. Are you guys worried about your team going in finish the rest of the season? Because you guys, your offensive line's been looking pretty horrible. Your defense is looking horrible. You got no pass rush. Your secondary's been looking like garbage. Are you guys worried? I'm telling you straight up facts. You guys, the Bears will beat your ass. You guys struggled against the Chargers.
John, you just said horrible. PFF rated us the number 1 offensive line before we played.
They looked like number 1 offensive line. For the number 1 line, they got slapped around all game long.
God damn! PFF.
I agree with that.
It's gonna help. We got Jonah Jackson back. He's been out a couple weeks.
Well,
and don't.
Hey man, we had 16 guys on injury. Almost a third of our squad, bro, on injury against you guys. We came in walking wounded.
Okay. So you're
okay. Hold on, guys.
About here, you guys are feeling real good, eh? That's the NFL, baby.
Sorry. Well, sorry, but about that part about your pass rush, I'm just thinking for you, Darcy and Chad, who would you think needs to step up the most to help your pass rush improve more as far as helping Aiden Hutchinson out?
You want to
go,
Chad?
We need Houston back. We need James Houston back. I don't know who could step up. Romeo or Julian.
I like Bugs. What comedian playing? What can Bugs ain't playing? I like him.
We need one of the Akora brothers to step it up because
Bugs always did pretty good to you guys.
Hutch is double teamed on every freaking play. And for good reason, because if he's not, he's going to get to the quarterback more.
Understood. And also another question: what is your take as far as your game against the Saints? How do you guys feel about your matchup with them?
Okay, I'll answer both of those because I missed the last one. So in order to we signed Bruce Irving. I know he's 36 years old, but he still has 53.5 sacks. You know, Dan Campbell said he's got rare human blood. So if he can get 1 or 2 pressures, that's all we need. We need somebody on the right side, on the weak side of that defensive line to give, some blindside pressure, and we're not getting that at all for the last freaking 6 games since Baltimore, basically. I don't think we've had a sack since. We had a couple sacks. But to answer the second question, what was the second question?
Yeah, how do you feel about your matchup with the Saints coming up this Sunday?
Oh, well, that's the Lions are traveling well. A lot of fans with the super fans, and they're all going to be down there. It's going to be a sea of blue. The Saints are nothing anymore. They don't have Sean Payton. Look out for those Denver Broncos, though. I think Sean Payton with the Denver Broncos. I'm more worried about that game because they flexed it to Saturday. And God damn it, I have to go and spend a goddamn hotel room. The Lions cost me another $350. Well, you can't drink
To
a
be
gun. You
honest,
gotta.
Darcy, I don't think
You have to go to
those
the
games are gonna be as
game.
much
You're
fun.
going down there to watch him lose? Why would you do that?
I have season tickets. I'm not no slappies like you. I'm actually a fan. I go to the games.
So I got a question for you. It's getting towards the end of the season, and all of a sudden Green Bay is creeping up into that spot where maybe we could get a 7th or
Lions
6th.
actually going down.
If Green Bay does get the 6th seed and the Lions get the 3rd seed, which is very realistic, are you guys worried about that rematch whatsoever?
Why would we worry? I worry about every match in the playoffs. We don't win playoff games, so it doesn't matter who we're playing.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, I'm
Keeping it
worried
real.
now just to win the division. I'm worried about just winning the division. I think Chicago's going to go on a run here. Chicago's a really good
Yeah,
team.
way too far
Don't kid
behind.
yourself.
Stop it.
You got the best. You got the best athletic
we got the
quarterback in the
division.
division right there.
Chicago's going to be just like Justin Fields. They're going to go on a run and then fumble it at the end. It's not going to matter.
You guys are going to root for us to beat the Vikings.
That's my
twice, I
prediction.
know that.
Watch out for Chicago. Thank God you guys played them twice already.
I think the Lions only got win 3 games. They'll
Yeah.
steal the fucking division.
We haven't played the Bears twice
we
yet.
have to play
We're-
Chicago.
I'm pretty sure we played them in what the
Bears
last
are
game,
last
second
game
to
of the
last.
We play on the 10th. We play Chicago on
Oh,
the
last
10th
game of the
December.
season?
In Chicago.
You watch Chicago. They're gonna go on a run here. You watch.
I got to tell you what, I don't care how good anybody thinks Chicago is becoming or what they are or they're going on a hot streak. There's one thing that I know that is true in this world, and it's that the Bears are owned by the Packers. So I don't care what streak they're on when they come to fucking and they play us again. We're gonna fucking whack them again. I don't
How
care.
can he be going on a run? He didn't even score a touchdown in one. I said, come on, man. He didn't even score a touchdown last week.
Hey, we had 4 turnovers against Chicago and squeaked one out. I mean, you don't win with 4 turnovers.
That was bad.
Yeah. Well, not even playing bad, you guys. You guys are going to play the past few weeks. You guys have been playing pretty freaking bad, and you guys are acting like, oh, we'll just fix it on a goal. We're all good.
Well,
It's not-
for one,
You got that right,
You
Fancy.
got
I
it
thought
right.
we played bad. We actually had more yards than you. It's the turnover battle. And dumb
Garbage
Dan, no, listen, Dan Gamble made a fucking dumbass fucking mistake trying to fucking fake punt when you
Like
guys
4 or
already
5 times.
prepared for it all week.
I told you he's a fraud. I told you that fucking years ago he's a fraud, and you guys don't believe me.
Why don't you coach the goddamn team then?
I could probably do a hell of a lot better than him. I wouldn't go for it every goddamn fucking.
So look.
Especially on my own 20. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, that
John,
one I couldn't believe.
John, I'm going to finish off this. Who's in first place?
So look.
Yeah, but will you guys stay there? That's the question.
We're getting close to the end of the season. There's a lot of teams fighting at the top of the NFC as well. There was a game on Sunday night that was a really, really good game, and I'm sorry, Sunday afternoon, not the Sunday night game. It was Sunday afternoon, and it went into overtime. And I really, really, really was fearing for those first place Eagles for a second there. That was a
rainy fucking night.
Yeah.
too.
But if you took anything away from that game, it was like you cannot trust Josh Allen in them late game situations. Like his entire career, he's never won a game that went to overtime or
He
even
did score
that.
at the end of the fourth quarter. though, to put him up.
I think he's 0-6 now.
He doesn't look good at all this year.
Yeah, no, he sucks at overtime.
I mean, Rodgers had
He's a Kirk Cousins of overtime.
And now was it Ben Miller or whatever? Now he's got it for no, he got arrested or something.
Yeah, Von Miller. They had a warrant.
Yeah, Von Miller.
Yeah, for assaulting.
He turned himself in.
Yeah.
He turned himself
On
in.
his
He got
pregnant
bombed
wife
out.
or what girlfriend?
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Sort of
Yes.
Jesus, man.
But back to
You gotta
that
talk
beautiful
about the Denver
dub by the
Broncos here.
Philadelphia
Look,
Eagles, baby.
Fourth quarter, real quick, what you guys were talking about in the overtime, fourth quarter, Josh Allen threw a touchdown to go up 31-28. Like, that's all you can ask of him at the end of the game. It's not his fault that the defense gave up a field goal to the Eagles. Like, I thought that the Eagles were going to march down and kick a field goal too, but you have to rely on your defense a little bit. Josh Allen was pretty clutch at the end of the game. I know that they didn't score in overtime and they lost because of it. But they didn't score a touchdown in overtime and the Eagles did. But I don't think that that's on Josh Allen. That's not a choke on Josh Allen right there. That's more so.
Josh Allen by far played his best game so far this season and just couldn't get it done. And it was like A-Dub said, because the stats have shown. We got an interception, right? He's going to throw you one. He has 8 straight games now with an interception. So he's good for a turnover. Yeah. And, and again, I think what it boils down to is I think Josh Allen has the most turnovers in since he's been drafted. Since, 2018? I think he leads the league. He has like 70 turnovers.
Yeah,
already. It's like 70-some turnovers.
And when you speak about him being drafted, earlier in his career, it was already questions about his accuracy issues throwing that football. So, of course, he was liable to do that.
Everybody just was hyped up because the big arm could throw 70 yards, 56 yards from his foot, from his knee or whatever. And he does. He's a gunslinger. He has that Brett Favre mentality where he's going to try to fit the ball in the windows that normally you shouldn't. Or he's going to try to make a play with his feet when it's like, hey, maybe you should just throw the ball away because now you just fumbled.
Well, maybe one of these days he'll be just as good as Jordan Love. One of these days he'll be just as good as Jordan Love, maybe.
So, look. We watched the Eagles pull out a gutsy win at the end of that game against the Bills. That was a wonderful game to watch. Very fun.
This year.
Chad and Darcy, when you guys watch a team like the Eagles pull out wins like that and the way that they're playing, what do you take away from that when you comparative to like when you watch your Lions? Like, because I'm seeing a distinct difference here between these two teams.
Well, yeah, one's a fraud, one's not.
I have 2 questions to answer because I didn't. But I'll go with the Philly one. They're a complete team. They're a veteran team. They're well coached. They are the team to beat. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. If we I hope if we get there.
Talk to me nice, Chad. Talk to me nice, baby.
We get to the NFC Championship game versus them. I don't think we'll win it. I don't think.
I'm telling you, if we get in playoffs, we're beating the Eagles. We're going right to the Super Bowl, baby. I'm telling you right now. You heard it here first. We get in the playoffs, we're all fucked.
Hey,
someone eliminates Philly for us. We're going, John.
Yep.
Real.
As far as the Saints game goes, if we play turnover free and control the clock and run the ball, that game's an easy win for us.
See,
if we turn the ball over, we're in trouble.
Nick,
go ahead.
Nick, it changes the game when you start the game and it's not fair. You're playing 1st and 8 every play. It's not 1st and 10 because if they get 3rd and 2, they're getting a first down automatically every freaking time. I think they're 18 out of 19. They're 18 out of 19 with doing the push tush or whatever you call it.
The brotherly shove. We call it the brotherly shove, Darcy.
In Canada, we call it a Tannen block, and it's illegal. You can't do it in the CFL. You're not allowed to excel a player forward by another player pushing him forward. That's a penalty.
Good thing we're in the National Football League.
Yeah,
they need to change that rule. If you're beyond the line of scrimmage, push them. But you can't push anybody if you're behind the line of scrimmage. They need to change that rule.
Listen, stop it. Everybody says that, but guess what? Every team has tried it, and they can't do it. So it'd be different if everybody was doing it and nobody could get it, whatever. Only reason why everybody wants it banned is because we're the only team that can do it. It's got like a 94% success rate.
Well, we know what you're doing.
I know we can do it. We just get penalized.
You don't have a quarterback that squats 600 pounds.
I think Green Bay is like 100%.
Hey man,
if you take
I know what it's about.
By next season, man, everybody will know how to stop that shit. That's how it always happens. Someone gets something going, and then someone figures out how to beat it.
Don't jump on top. You bring your tackles and you squeeze them right into the nose, so you take their legs out. Instead of going head to head like that, come in like knife in this way.
They do it. I've seen the defense line up every single way, bare front, whatever. They got everybody in the box.
Everybody in the if you stick your fingers out and poke some eyes when they do it, they won't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do that, coach. He's gonna poke me in the eye."
Well, hold on. Question for you, Shaq. I'm trying to recall. Y'all guys do the Eagles have the Niners on their schedule?
We played them this Sunday. We played them this Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to hear you on how you feel about that matchup with the Niners. Like, how well do your Eagles match up with them?
So I think. Listen, I'll be realistic about it. Okay, I'm not one of them delusional Eagles fans. If you look at the Niners roster, top to bottom, I think they have a better team on paper. I really do. But the one component that I think is what separates us from the Niners is Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. When you got a quarterback who's composed when he's under pressure, he's confident, the guy makes the plays that need to be made in order to go win the game. I'll put my money on Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy any day of the week.
I would too.
But what I think it boils.
But I would take Christian McCaffrey over every fucking running back you guys got.
Over anybody, man, everybody. I was gonna say you don't have a CMC, bro.
I get that. We got Lane Johnson back.
DeAndre Swift has been flaming gas out for the Eagles.
Which I think was a huge difference in the Buffalo game. Buffalo got a lot of pressure on us because we had Lane Johnson was out. He's back, so we're good there. Dallas Goedert's back practicing. He got a full day of practice.
Darcy's got a question for you, Shaq.
Go ahead, Darcy.
With your linebacker health right now, do you think you could beat the San Francisco 49ers?
That's one of our weakest points is our linebackers.
Right, because you're all injured.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Sidebar, we might get Darius Leonard.
So we were just talking about the running back for San Francisco, and then you have no linebackers. So are we going like this, or are we going like this?
This is by far the most interesting game of the year, probably. This is probably the best game of the year.
It's the best matchup by far.
It's a possible NFC matchup championship, championship right here.
So here's what we're gonna do. Because I know everyone's got an opinion on this game specifically. We're gonna go around the horn, and we'll give everybody a chance. I'll go with Ken. You start out.
No, don't have John Horn.
No, I gotta say that this one is gonna be one hell of a game. And I think that San Francisco personally is going to sneak one out on them, that they're going to pull it out by about 3, just because the whole Christian McCaffrey effect of who the hell are you going to get to stop him? Even if you're bringing safeties down in the box, he's so damn dynamic that he's just going to run around them anyway.
Okay. What's up, Con? And that's what it says that your name is, Con?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what's up? Who do you root for?
Cowboys.
All right. Well, what do you think of the game last night?
Good game.
What do you think of the game last night?
Cowboys are going to actually win a playoff game this year.
Most likely they're going to, but we'll see how it works out.
We're going to take out the Lions there, Darcy.
No, I don't think the Lions can beat the Cowboys.
Hey, man. What do you think of Mike McCarthy as your head coach?
They haven't lost at home in 14 years.
To be honest,
what do you think about Mike McCarthy as your head coach? That's got to be rough.
I don't really like him. I never liked him as when we were looking for a coach. When we were about to have him as a suitor, I didn't really want to even bring him in. I thought he was a little bit old school. I didn't think he would have a good dynamic with the newer age players. And I don't like his approach on how he head coaches because it's more of like a supervisor position than a head coach position.
Yeah.
He kind of just basically puts people where he thinks that they're going to excel in or do well, and then he goes hands off, which I don't like as a head coach.
I mean, you could be worse. You could have
9-3.
I think McCarthy is the type of coach.
Could be 9-3 right now.
I think McCarthy's always been this kind of coach where he looks really good against bad teams and he trounces the shit out of them. So you're like, oh man, that's a good team. And then they'll play a really good team and everything just falls apart every fucking time. Like he seems to be able to beat bad teams by 40, but not beat any of the good teams. That's just how it's been with McCarthy for like fucking ever, man.
I just think more he doesn't know how to game plan mid-game.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he comes in with a plan, and he has good plans, but when that plan isn't working, there's no real, like, heavy adjustments.
So I know that's true, because Aaron Rodgers would openly talk about how Aaron Rodgers had to make the halftime adjustments. Aaron Rodgers had to change the playbook. Yeah. And I remember they were talking about they had this 20 play at the beginning of each game script, right? Yep. And McCarthy kept getting mad because Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, 15 to 30.
Yeah. And what happens with this stupid script thing that Mike McCarthy likes to do is you get 1st and 10 shotgun passes for incompletes. You get 3rd and 6 running the ball out of shotguns. You get all these weird plays that you're like, why did he do that? Mike McCarthy, I think you're right, is just not good at adjustments. Once the sky is falling, it just keeps falling, you know?
At least Mike doesn't throw wide receiver screens on 3rd and 14 with Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you don't go for it on your own 20 and 4th and fucking, 3.
Okay, John Dorn.
He's not 9-3 just because
the goddamn question about the Eagles and 49ers.
The only thing that I like that he adjusted recently is
the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, no one wants to be the Arizona Cardinals.
John Dorn's a flower girl.
So
no one wants to be the Chicago Bears. What are you talking about?
Ask you guys a question. We'll build up on this question, but so we got a Cowboys fan here. We got Lions fans here.
You never asked me the score prediction for the 49ers. For the Eagles.
We'll get to that. Who do you actually think is a better football team right now? The Cowboys or the Lions?
Cowboys all day long. Not even close. Not even
Cowboys.
Okay, I'm writing down receipts here. I'm writing down receipts.
Well, go ahead, Darcy and Chad. Do you guys think that you're better than the Cowboys?
I'm
not going to say we're better than the Cowboys, but I'm not going to say we're worse than the Cowboys. I'm not no clown Lion fan.
Beat the Bears.
Nobody's got a better pass rush than the Cowboys. Nobody's got a better pass rush than the Cowboys.
No.
Nobody's
got a better offensive line.
Nobody's got a better pass rush than the Cowboys. I'm sorry, man.
Nobody's got a better offensive line than the Lions.
Nobody. At the beginning of the year, I chose the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm sticking with the Cowboys better than the Lions.
Lions be 8-9 by the season. 8-9.
Well, I don't care.
Answer your
how good you think the Lions line is. They weren't that good last week.
They didn't get smacked all around by Green Bay.
And the thing is with the Lions that I've always been watching, and I've been because my father is actually a huge Green Bay fan, and basically I watch that division because I watch a lot of games with him, right? And the Lions for the last, I would say 6 years have had multiple first round drafts, and I watch the draft very closely as well, and I see that it's only a matter of time before the Lions draft picks start producing to their potential because they're now in their second, third year of the NFL, and they're becoming prime time starters. And you have a lot of first grade talent that's sitting on that team. So it's only a matter of time before the Lions project themselves and make a statement for themselves and become that big
They're
team
really
in
good
that
at beating
division.
average teams. Average teams. They're really good at that, you know.
Darcy, why is that a bad take? So, give us a rebuttal.
Because we've missed on so many players on the defensive line. Josh Pascal. We got him in the second round. What has he did? He's sat on the bench and been on injured reserve. Okay, let's go look at another.
You're not going to hit every draft pick though, especially defensively
too.
Oh, you at least got to get a couple on the defensive line. They haven't been able to do that, have they?
Well, didn't they just this year? Didn't they draft Mafe?
Yes,
Sully.
That's a good job right there.
Who's the DN that they drafted this year?
You see that, Sully?
No, didn't see anything.
Your local player, he will.
Hey, didn't you guys drafted a great defenseman this year?
75 for the, and then $100 for the full Monty.
Who was the D end? I can't remember his name, but you guys drafted a big D end this year, Detroit.
We did.
Hutchinson? That was last year, Hutchinson?
Yeah, Hutchinson's one, but I thought you drafted one this year as well.
No, we didn't.
No?
Second round. Was it second round? You guys picked up someone?
So we got a Vikings fan on the show. What's up, Sully? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Nick?
No, he's a
I
Giants
want to
fan.
ask you real quick, what'd you think about that amazing Monday Night Football game? Fireworks, bro. Fireworks.
They were lighting it up all night long.
No,
I can't believe you guys almost.
They were lighting field goals up. That's what they're lighting up.
I can't believe you guys almost scored as much as they did.
Cairo Santos for MVP.
The uprights couldn't catch a break.
Well, at least you didn't double joint like fucking Chicago does.
Hey, I want to ask the Viking guy a question. Are they benching Dobbs? Is that what I heard?
No, they have no one else. Who are they going to put in?
I have no idea.
Who are they going to put in, man? I was going to say.
I think he's going to start, and if he doesn't play well, then they'll probably bench him. So
you guys should have went and got Joe Flacco.
So are you sold on Dobbs now? That was like the 1 or 2 week wonder. Are you guys sold on him now?
They got to ride with him.
As Alex Conley would say, we're good.
Do you
guys can roll out Nick Mullins again?
Stay a Viking? Does Kurt stay a Viking?
You want to know if Kurt's going to
No, they're not going to re-sign him, bro.
What was the question?
They don't have the money, do they?
There was talk after Aaron Rodgers went down that they were going to the Jets were going to try to trade for Kirk, and then he blows his Achilles out.
The way the NFL is, though, who are you going to pick up? Like, quarterback is such a difficult position nowadays. If you're not top 5 quarterback, you're shit.
This draft would be a good place to start. To be honest, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this.
If I recall, this draft's supposed to be QB heavy.
Oh, it's really heavy.
Do you think that they're going to be up early enough in the draft that they're going to be able to keep one of the top 3 guys?
You could potentially get Penix. You could get Bo Nix. Those are guys that might be at the end of the first round.
Yeah, because you know Drake May and Caleb Williams are the first 2 to go off the board.
Yeah.
Off the top. They're gone.
And the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams.
You think? I've been hearing Drake May might creep to that number 1.
Either way, I think the Bears are going to keep their first number 1 pick from Carolina, and I think they're going to get a quarterback. I do.
Oh, they are. They are. I think if Bears secure the first pick, obviously from Carolina, for the trade up for Bryce Young, and then they're going to have 2 top 5 picks, right? And so if that's the case,
I hope the Cowboys draft in the first round quarterback.
Well, here's one
Cowboys
thing
is
about.
not like Dak
I'm
very
sorry,
much.
but one thing about the Bears possibly getting a quarterback, you're going to have to say that depends on where they stand with Fields. Are they going to trade? Will they trade Fields before they go after a QB, or are they keeping Fields and going after someone else? I think that's your factor.
Listen, A-Dub, that's actually a great point because I believe that actually does depict how they go about this draft. If they keep Fields, listen, I think if they want to trade Fields, they got to trade him as soon as possible to get as much capital they can get back for him. And then that's going to dictate what they do because if they keep Fields, I don't see them going and getting another quarterback. Then think about it. If you're going to put another quarterback in a terrible fucking offense, they're going to be just as bad. There's not much that's going to change. Think about the Jets. Think about the Browns. Quarterbacks. They all fucking suck, but that's because they're not in a solid organization. They're not in a good offense. Think about
how many years does Fields have left on his contract?
This is the end of his rookie contract.
This is the end of his rookie contract. Yeah, this is the end of his rookie contract. So
that's what I'm saying.
You're not if you're gonna move on from him, this is the best time because then if you go draft a quarterback, no, you don't get a hit on your cap salary because you're just gonna go put another quarterback off a rookie contract, which we obviously know doesn't hit as hard. But if you re-sign Justin Fields, you're gonna give him max money. You're gonna give him $180 million.
He's not
coming close to getting max money. There's no way that he'll get max money.
Like A-Dub said, that brings up a great point.
They're gonna get him on a discount.
This is Justin Fields' fortunate. They have a 5th-year option on him. They could choose to elect it. They could choose to elect it, or they could choose to just let him go. So if you guys believe,
if their plan is to get a quarterback in this draft, then there's no point. There's just 0 point in trying to even worry about take this much money, take that much money, move on from him, try to get what you can for him, because I guarantee there are some teams, i.e. maybe the Giants or somebody who's willing to go get a quarterback. Hell, even the Patriots, someone like that who's willing to go get a quarterback.
But what do you think you're going to get for him? That's the question.
I know Lions could probably use him.
If you're trying to get rid of him, I don't think there's much that you really care to get for him. A couple second-round picks, a second-round pick, and maybe a player or two.
I think you're lucky. I think you're lucky with a third round, most likely fourth.
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot going on this year.
Funny
There's a lot
thing
going
is,
on this year too that doesn't help Justin Fields' case. And look, this may be a conceded point at a certain level because I'm going to mention Jordan Love, but there are guys like C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love. There are guys like that are seemingly, I'm not going to call it a guaranteed success right now, but are seemingly figuring it out and starting to find their success. I don't think that helps Justin Fields either because they're sitting there like, dude, we got this guy to get the guy. Why are these other teams getting other guys that are turning into the guy and we're not?
Better coaching.
I know, but it still doesn't help just keeping Justin Fields. Like the whole.
Yeah, but I think Love had a major advantage, right? Love got to sit behind one of the best quarterbacks of maybe all time, and he got to train behind him.
True.
He learned the program. It's his 4th year in the NFL. He sat back and basically got groomed for that program specifically when most of these other quarterbacks are kind of getting just thrown into the fire, and then we're saying, oh, they're shit.
But per that point,
that's
you
a
can't
good point.
do that
That's
with
what I'm
Fields.
saying. I'm like, I don't think Justin Fields is a shit quarterback. I really believe that
He
if
got some
Justin
good traits. He does.
put Justin Fields in the right system, and then if he does shit in a better system, then you can say, hey, bro, you're just not that good.
Yeah.
You know what?
But let's be honest, too, right? Unless you're a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, nobody really gives a fuck about you, and no one rates you. So even as a Dallas Cowboys fan, to me, I love my team. I'm a diehard. I'll do anything. I watch every game. But I'm not a Dak fan. And just because I'm a Cowboys fan doesn't make me a fan of every player. Because I think if you can't critique your own team and say your likes and dislikes and point out their flaws, then you're more of a cheerleader than a fan, right? Like, I don't have to like.
That's how I feel about James Bradbury. Can't stand that motherfucker.
I say the same thing about Green Bay. I got guys on there.
I'll let you take over
real quick. Nick,
yeah, I was going to actually have you talk about we're going to go back to the Eagles-Niners game. Go ahead and get to your point that you wanted to get to, and then go to that.
Shaq, do you see the Brown kid on there?
The what?
Brown kid. What do you think of the Brown kid?
The Brown kid.
What do you mean Brown kid?
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Go
AJ Brown?
No, Sidney Brown and Chase Brown. Sidney Brown. What do you think about Sidney Brown?
Who?
Like Sidney Brown. He's on your fucking team.
I couldn't hear you. My son's over here. Sidney Brown.
Oh.
So there's
So I coach Sidney Brown. I'm one of his coaches. I'm one of his coaches. So to go on to what Nick was saying, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to freaking just run the ball down the 49ers' throats. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a wild game. I think it's going to be lots of misdirection, stretch plays. I think it's going to be you're going to see Brock Purdy get the MVP for the game. He's going to probably be the NFC Player of the Week. This is what I see.
Then you said the wrong thing. You said the Eagles are going to run down their throats.
Yeah.
You mean San Fran's going to run down their throats?
I think he froze up.
So, anyways, finish off my take is JJ. It's going to be a tight game, but the over/under is 48. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to have the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going with 37, and then 34 for those Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Got to go.
I've actually been looking for a bookie to take a $10,000 bet on that game. I've only been able to secure 6,000 of the 10,000 so far, and I challenged anybody that I know to make the same bet. And if they lose and they show me proof of that $10,000 bet, I said I would tattoo Eagles logo right on my rear.
Son of a bitch. You got some money then.
Well, the thing is, I see it as a guaranteed win. I don't see the Eagles
For the
winning
Eagles?
that game.
For the Eagles?
No, for San Fran.
Oh, for San Fran, okay.
To
You know
bet
what?
San
You know
Fran
what my
to
take
win.
is?
Man, come on.
It's going to be a really good game. It's going to be a good, tight game. I think it's going to be too tight of a game. They're going to tie 9-9.
He's a Cowboy fan. What did you think he was going to say?
The Eagles are going to be
Yeah, I
able
know.
to handle
Correct me if I'm wrong,
San
though.
Fran's
Doesn't-
D.
Correct me if I'm
Hey,
wrong.
just
San Fran
last
is
week,
the best
everybody
team
on
in
here
the
was talking about, no, it was mainly Steven. Steven was like, yeah, Buffalo going to go in there and beat up on
I remember that.
I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Steven was talking it. Yeah.
But
That was
Buffalo
last
lost
week,
that
yeah.
game for themselves.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they
Listen,
did.
bro. We won the second half. That's how the game works. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
It's the same way that the Cowboys lost the game as well. The Cowboys had it in hand to win the game, and they lost it for themselves.
That's what always
San
boils
Fran
down
has
to.
the
The
best
Eagles,
team in the league.
this whole gauntlet that we were supposed to be all worried about, Miami, Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, we're 4-0. Everybody's like, oh, it's just that they did something. They did something. No credit given to the Eagles. We're 10-1. It's all right.
Hey, Woody, how's it
You'll
going?
lose this weekend.
I'm listening. Hey, I'm listening.
Yeah. Enjoying the game.
The Eagles are going to probably lock it up this weekend.
We're
No,
gonna play
they're
our,
not.
We're gonna play
They're
our
going to
best
lose
game
this
of the
weekend,
season.
and then they're
Watch.
going to go into Dallas and lose right after it.
Yep,
We're gonna
absolutely.
we're gonna play our best game. We haven't even played our best game yet, and we're gonna play it this Sunday against the Niners.
It's good to be optimistic on it.
Yeah, but I saw somewhere if the Eagles will lock up their playoffs if they win this week and the Rams lose.
They won't.
Yeah, somebody's driving. in the
There's
car.
like 10 scenarios where you guys.
Robert, are you driving in the car?
Hi, so you got
It's gotta be.
No, it ain't me, bro.
John. John's going to pick up his son from work.
I wanted to come on here and clear up this Justin Fields shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Woody?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Can we finish everybody's
Woody,
take
how's it
on the
going?
game before we start switching over to something else?
Listen,
What are you talking?
Bears ain't getting no quarterback. I'm sick of hearing the Caleb Williams shit, Drake May shit. We're not getting either one of them. So we're gonna keep our first pick. If Carolina, loses out, we get their pick. We're getting Marvin Harrison and trading our pick to get draft capital. We're not getting a quarterback. You heard it here.
So you were going to take next year too, then?
Why get another quarterback with a new coaching staff and they fuck him up too? There's no way.
I don't think you lose the
I
game.
literally said the same thing.
I think you beat the
I said
Lions
the same thing
next
before you
week.
got on. I said,
No,
why
it's-
get a quarterback with the same trash coaching that's going to make them just as bad when they start
Right.
playing for the Bears? It's not.
Right.
You got one more year on his contract, and then it's a fifth-year option, right?
Right?
He
Yeah,
needs
we
new
have
coaches.
him next year.
So you guys getting rid of your coach?
You got to give
Pro-
these coaches at least 5
Well,
years.
with the
problem with the
defense,
NFL.
with
You
the
don't give them
defense
5
doing
years.
good with Eberflus, I mean, I still think we're going to get rid of Getsky right off the bat. I'm surprised he's still there this bye week. I'm surprised he's not gone yet.
And then
See,
you're
Woody,
going to get
Woody,
Ben
I
Johnson,
agree with you.
offensive
That's
quarterback.
what I've been saying.
What
That's
I'm
I've been
surprised
saying.
was with the Bears is they went out and spent probably the most money in free agency to shore up a defense, and they actually looked worse. Like, where did these guys?
What are you
just
talking
disappear
about?
Defense.
what?
Whoa.
Their
Guys,
defense
the last-
is
We're-
looking good.
hey,
turnovers
They're
before,
top 10
whoa. Before,
They're top 10
Number
before
one,
overall.
what's your defense? They're
with
number
the
one.
defense, we're number what? Number
Nine.
one with yards per rush,
But
and we're
overall, they're number
third
9.
in rushing
That's a top 10
defense. We were nowhere near that weeks ago. So our defense got a lot better.
Well, maybe
I would
maybe
rather
within-
have
within
Chicago's
the
defense
last
than the
2
Lions'
weeks.
defense right now.
Maybe within
I
the
think
last
Nick
2
pulled it
weeks
up
or so,
earlier.
but for the first part of the season, they were like almost non-existent.
Yeah, things got to
Yeah.
click. But like
Yeah,
Nick pulled it up earlier, they're top 9 overall in deep. They're number 9.
Yeah, so I don't.
Second quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't know who said their defense got worse.
No, it didn't.
Well,
It's been looking better the last like 3-4 weeks.
right,
Defense
and we
is good.
have five interceptions, 8 total turnovers the last 2 games.
I thought
There's no
they
way
did
our
better.
defense got worse.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can
Trade
judge the
deadline, I
season
was
so
like, they
far
get
in the
rid of
last
Johnson.
two
got
games.
no
I'm
word
just
them
saying
from
the way it
Detroit,
was looking, he
though,
wasn't
Phil
looking good.
Yeah, there's no way.
You could say certain additions that the Bears made to the defense made it better. Right.
The defense looks better. It does. It's the offensive play calling that is killing Justin Fields. So if you get a better offensive play caller, because Woody, I was saying this earlier, I don't think Justin Fields is as bad as he may look sometimes.
Nope.
If you put him in a better offensive play calling situation, I think Justin Fields could then begin to shine. Now, if you get a new offensive play caller and he's a solid offensive play caller, Justin Fields just flat out sucks, then okay. Now you can make a choice decision and say, hey, Justin Fields, you're garbage. But until that happens, this man got drafted into a situation where there was no quarterback that you could have given me. Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, I don't give a fuck who it was. You put him on the Bears, he's not going to be successful the way they call that fucking offense.
And I wouldn't want Caleb Williams anyway. Nick, you probably know who I want, correct? You heard who I want.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes.
Fuck yourself. I would rather have Bo Nix out of any of those quarterbacks coming out.
I remember that.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is solid.
I'm not getting another North Carolina quarterback. Fuck that.
But
I'm not getting Caleb Williams because
100%, bro.
honestly, if I was an NFL owner and Caleb Williams comes up to me and says, I want to own half the team, I'm drafting your ass in 3rd round instead of 1st round.
Yeah.
Right.
If you get Caleb Williams like talent in the 3rd round, by all means, go ahead.
The guy I'm not a big fan of who's been climbing up the charts is Penix. I wouldn't draft him out of all those quarterbacks.
Nah, Penix, I get it. He's having a wonderful year this year, but Penix, to me, I don't see him panning out like the other quarterbacks. He doesn't fit that mold that I see for a franchise quarterback. But then again, my quarterback was talked about in the worst regard coming out when we drafted him, and I had high hopes. I said in Hurts we trust, and he's obviously panned out. But I think the difference with Jalen Hurts and most quarterbacks.
Oh Jesus, you're an Eagles fan? Holy fuck!
Yeah.
All right.
You see it. You see
He's got the sweatshirt, the hat.
Oh boy.
What's up, Greg?
Big dogs on campus. Big dogs on campus.
We got Greg, who's a Niners fan.
I live in Pennsylvania.
Niners fan, Cowboys fan.
So, Greg,
I live in Pennsylvania.
I'm realistic. I'm not one of the ones that's going to be like, yeah, the Eagles are the best and everything. We have weaknesses. There's things that we can improve on. I'm not going to sit here and showboat like we are just the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Greg,
we can keep it a buck about some stuff.
Yeah. You live in Pennsylvania?
Greg, who do you think's going to win that Niners-Eagles game this week?
Oh, you know who I'm going to
I don't know. It's tough. I put in the comments, man, there's so many good matchups with Mulata going up against Chase Young and Lane Johnson against Nick Bosa. Like, it's just a matchup of Titans. I think it's pretty clear at this point. Those are the two most complete teams in the NFC. I think it really comes down to quarterback play at that point. You know, is Brock Purdy – if Brock Purdy can look like the Brock Purdy against the Cowboys, I think they can beat the Eagles. If it's a Brock Purdy getting obsessed, under duress, pressured, Eagles getting sacks on him, I think the Eagles can take the game. But I really think it does come down to those two quarterbacks. Those defensives are just stacked, and the skilled players that both those teams have, it's almost unreal.
I think
Greg, that's a great point, because that's what I said earlier, is I think it boils down to quarterbacks. It's Jalen Hurts against Brock Purdy in this matchup.
I think it's going to be coming down if Eagles defense can stop McCaffrey. That's my question.
And them being able to stop San Fran's D-line, which I don't think they're going to be able to.
McCaffrey has to have at minimum 30 touches with rushes and passing all together. He has to have at minimum 30 touches, man.
Listen.
I gotta be honest. This is a game where I could see the Niners beating the Eagles in the regular season and then the Eagles beating the Niners in the playoffs. I could see it being like that. So I would actually put my money on the Niners on this one. I would.
The thing is, y'all make it like McCaffrey hasn't been locked up this entire season. Like, they have 3 losses on their record where they faced defenses that had solid defensive lines that held them. And then, again, the NFC Championship, we're both coming back with pretty much the same teams we had last year. The only difference is now you have Chase Young. And
you lost 8 starters.
Niners brought in some key players. You should know that, man. They picked up Hargrave and bringing in Chase Young. Those are some key pickups right there, man.
Hargrave hasn't done that much. Now, Chase Young is the difference. Since y'all picked up Chase Young, I think y'all have 13 sacks since getting Chase Young or something like that. But Hargrave has not been the defining factor. Where it was like, I thought he was going to be. When y'all got
Hello,
Hargrave,
Greg. I didn't see you down there, bud.
What about losing Gardner?
And what's he doing for Detroit?
He's hurt.
Well, he's got a one-trick pony. It's all he wants, a one-trick pony.
Yeah, Gardner played well for us. Yeah, he did. He led the league in interceptions. I get that. But he got most of those interceptions off our good D-line play.
Yeah.
This is Eagles defense is worse than the Bears defense.
I don't know who that is.
Hey, shout out
Nick,
to the
I
Bears,
love
man.
you
That
for saying
defense
that,
looks
bud.
good. Hey, but I'll come out and say right here to you, Woody, Trayman Edmonds, what a bust. What a busty pickup. You guys spent so much money on this kid. Hey, look, I'm a huge TJ Edwards fan. That guy came over from the Eagles. He's played well his entire career with the Eagles. He did it before they had the elite defense. So it makes up some slack there. But Tremaine Edmonds got to be one of the worst free agent acquisitions in the entire league.
He has three interceptions.
But he's not playing very well, Woody. Look, we expected him to be one of the premier linebackers in the league, and that just is the interception looks great, but his overall play, look, man, he shined in a Buffalo front seven that's been amongst the best in the league. But when you're playing up next, right to Matt Milano, who's probably the most underrated linebacker in the league, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not a Trayman Edmonds fan, but the TJ Edwards signing makes it look a little bit better.
Yeah, TJ Edwards was a great pickup for us. Great.
Yeah, hell of a player.
He averages 10 tackles solo a game.
He's a stud. Like I said, before the Eagles put together this championship, like quality defense, like he was making moves for them then. And so he was someone I wanted our Lions to pick up last year.
Yeah, I say the Eagles lose the next two. That's just my honest opinion.
I agree with that.
It's tough, man. They're one of the best in the league, Woody. And that's a tough call, man. When they're hitting on all cylinders, that's a hard fucking offense and defense for that matter to stop.
Tremaine Edmonds really has been.
I'm going to say this. I don't think the Eagles lost too much on defense. Like, when it comes to the Eagles, when it comes to the Eagles, one of the players they got out of the draft I've been impressed with is that Jalen Carter kid they got.
Absolutely.
Oh, you mean the Philadelphia Bulldogs, right?
Running back being Gibbs.
You got the Cowboys beating the Eagles then, Woody? That's what you're saying? You got the Cowboys beating the Eagles? Okay.
Yeah, they ain't coming to Dallas and winning.
Didn't the Eagles sweep the Cowboys last year?
No, we split it, but we played each other's backups.
Oh, that's right.
Well, you got to think. Hey, you got to think. The first time they played, and this is my opinion, is that I think Dallas outplayed them.
Yes, and Dallas lost the game for themselves late.
With Rush as quarterback.
Well,
right?
they had the Eagles had the 12th man too. You remember the zebra.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Everybody brings up the run.
Hey, speaking of Cowboys, tell me that was not one of the better Thursday night games we've seen in a long time yesterday, guys. That was fucking fire.
One of the best.
That was nice.
No, it wasn't better than my
games was fuck.
Greg, it wasn't better. Greg, it wasn't better than Monday night's game.
You know what's crazy too? Every time the Cowboys play
Jesus,
Seattle, it's almost a
that was a
slugfest
right there. Like watching the '98 Vikings, the greatest show on turf. Jesus,
yo, we lit Dobbs up. That defense was that was the best game on D they played all year. Best game.
Greg looks like a younger Daniel. That's fucking great. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, Woody. Look, man, I heard your whole spiel about not getting a quarterback, staying with Fields. What has Fields done to prove to you, man? It's got multiple times a year, multiple turnovers. That is not a recipe for winning.
We're getting a new offensive coordinator. You might as well pair him with a new quarterback.
You have Ryan Poles. Woody, I spoke to you about this. You have Ryan Poles. Is he going to bank his career, his job on keeping Fields? I don't think so. I think you take a quarterback this year. You don't actually have to trade up like you did for Trubisky or Fields. You can actually draft where you're at and get a good quarterback. I just would not see the point of the Bears skipping out on a quarterback this year. And Poles being like,
Greg,
we're going to roll the dice with Fields.
Greg, I want to bet. I want to bet with you this year already. So you owe me a profile pick. So I'll bet you another profile pick. They don't pick a quarterback.
I owe you a profile pick?
Remember that? I don't remember what game we played, but I won. And you said you don't do profile picks.
Didn't we bet on the Bears versus Lions?
No, it was the Bears versus somebody else. and I said,
okay, so I'll put up. Hey, shoot me a profile pic, Batman. I'm not a Welsh, I'll put it up. I got all kinds of Packers and Bears shit up on my profile already. I ain't scared.
Hey, Greg, I got a bet with my cousin. He's a Niners fan. Whoever loses, we're gonna Photoshop each other in one of the opposing team jerseys. We gotta open our profile pic for the rest.
Yeah,
of the
I got my guy Kyle with that on a nice little on the first Packers game. Hey Nick, shout out to the Packers too, man. You guys put it on us.
do you live in Pennsylvania?
Man, that was
Do you live in Pennsylvania?
Does
the Eagles boy? Does he live in Pennsylvania?
No, I'm actually originally from Chicago. My dad just grew up a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I grew up watching the Eagles my whole life.
Oh Jesus! All right, yeah, I live in Pennsylvania.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah.
You said, "Oh Jesus," like that hurts. The Bears ain't been good since '85. We won in '73. Like we went to the Super Bowl last year. Like you say, "Oh," like I'm cheering for the fucking Jets.
See, I can't put an Eagles jersey on. I might get burned. That's why I can't make that bet.
Oh,
Can't do it.
It's all good.
I can't.
We gonna keep flying, baby. That's all we gonna do. We gonna keep.
I would wear an Eagles jersey, but I like having a good quarterback on my team.
I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed off that the Eagles paid Cody Parkey to double doink that field goal.
Front runner for MVP, and we got a guy that statistically is better than that front runner right now.
You know what, Nick? Hey, Nick.
That's
you know what?
because
That
you play from behind,
I'm still.
throw the ball. We're a complete team. We can run
I'm
the
still
ball
upset
for
that
a buck.
the Eagles paid Cody Parkey to double doink that field goal.
Hey, listen,
Oh, my
bro, you don't
goodness.
understand. I was talking to my family back home in Chicago, and I called my grandfather, my uncle. I was like, not the double doink. Let's go. 13-3, best season y'all had in how long?
So, Woody.
Yeah.
Nicky
Woody, I want you to be. I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to be very, very honest because
I'm very honest.
You're a Bears fan. You obviously don't want to see Jordan Love succeed. That would be bad for your team, obviously. What do you think of him so far?
I think he's doing better than I expected, but it seems like he's not a consistent. He's got to be consistent every week. Like how many 300-yard games has he had this year?
One.
So, like I said, he is better than what I expected. I thought he was gonna. I thought Minnesota would finish last in the division because of their defense. I was totally wrong about that, but I was wrong about Jordan Love too. He's better than what I expected.
So Jordan Love does have the one 300-yard game, but he has 3 games of 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. I find that to be pretty exceptional. Aaron Rodgers didn't do that his first year.
It's impressive too because Green Bay has the youngest team in the NFL, and doing what they're doing is pretty impressive.
Yeah, for me, it's about.
I said before, Jordan Love being able to put up the numbers he did, despite no real established veteran at the skill level position, receiver or tight end, was already an accomplishment.
Page still helmet?
Right.
Nice, John.
So what do you think Green Bay will finish the rest of the year?
I think it's realistically possible that 10-7 is around the realm. Personally, I think we're dropping one and we'll be 9-8 and we'll be stuck right in that limbo where it's like we need someone to help us get in the playoffs and it might not happen.
We
might. I said we'd be 7-10, but we no way. We have one, maybe 2 more wins the rest of the year.
I'm hoping Chicago can take one from the Lions after what happened. That would be nice to see.
That hurt too, but I even got on the phone with Poles and say, hey, your fucking players got to play 60 minutes, not 58.
That's a good one there.
This guy's coming up. What? Who does Ken remind you of? I want to hear that one next.
Oh, jeez.
I love that last comment. I love that last comment.
You got the fucking carrot top.
Yeah, Jordan Dorn looks
we're
like
talking about the Eagles. We're talking about the Cowboys. We're talking about the Niners. Again, I just keep circling back to I kind of don't see where the Lions fit into this tier right here. Now, are the Lions one of the best teams in the NFC? Yeah, that's easy to say. But when I think of teams like even the Cowboys, I'm not joking. When I think of teams like the Niners, the Eagles, and the Cowboys, I just see something that the Lions don't have that they do. And I
think they're frauds, and I'm not even joking.
I think the biggest difference is with Detroit, like Dallas. Dallas is a good team. Not saying they're bad. They're a good team. What separates Dallas from a tier just with the Lions is that Dallas beats the teams they're supposed to beat, and they beat them handedly. Detroit struggles with bad teams. They're like, again, the Bears game, the Packers game.
Who said?
On paper, you see the record matchup. You think, the Detroit Lions should easily win this game, and they lose. The Bears.
Now we
it
get
took a
four
fourth
turnovers.
quarter miracle comeback to win that Bears game.
Hey, Shaquille, who said the Bears were? Hey,
I mean, if we're being honest here, I put the Lions in that same tier as you got, like the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks have a little bit better of a defense. I think we got a little bit better of an offense. But I'll agree with you. The top three teams in the NFC are probably the Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners. I think the thing that separates them most is just defense. And I'll be the one to put it out there. Look, once Chauncey Gardner-Johnson went down, that was essentially – we have two superstars, him and Aiden Hutchinson. And once CJJ went down, we were banking on Hutch. And I'll be the first to tell you, Hutch has not taken that next step. He is number 3 overall in pressures, but his sack numbers, his tackles for loss – and this is hard to talk about with other Lion fans because Aiden Hutchinson, being from the University of Michigan, it's not easy to critique this kid and say he's lived up to the bill, but I'll be the first to tell you he's not. You look at what he's done compared to Kayvon Thibodeau this year, and it's like night and day, and you can make the argument that Thibodeau has more help, but really he doesn't. And then you look across the league with other pass rushers outperforming. Daniel Hunter, Max Crosby, these guys are working with nobodies, and they're putting up incredible numbers.
That's a great call, Greg. Daniel Hunter has like 13 and a half sacks on the Vikings defense that we look at as one of the worst in the league possibly, but he's still going to get his numbers. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just hoping that, eventually we'll get some more help for Hutch because right now we got a Lee McNeil who's playing great for defensive tackle, one of the best in the league actually right now, just numbers wise. But other than that, it's been a struggle defensively. And
hey, Greg, when you guys played us, Brian Branch was all over the place.
Brian Branch is doing great for a rookie. But he still has it. Yeah, he still has his rookie mistakes. Shit, he's top 50 in the league in tackles for a loss, and he's a rookie nickel corner. That's amazing.
We have rookie mistakes. That's for sure. So Greg, there was an interesting question that was asked earlier, and it was, who do you think is the better edge rusher? Do you think it's Rashawn Gary or Aiden Hutchinson?
Rashawn Gary, hands down. Rashawn Gary. I'll say this. Give me 1 second, real quick, you guys. I'm at work.
I could answer that. Gary is impressive this year as well. He poured it on, boy. Yep. Ken looks like a guy who picks up drunk fat chicks at the bar. Holy shit. I'm fat too. PH fat.
All right, you can go ahead and do me now. Roast me. I'm here for it. So I just mentioned these because when I expect the Eagles and Niners game to be just flat out dogfight, right? I expected there to be some fireworks. I expect when the Cowboys play the Eagles, I expect that to be some fireworks. Even in the playoff game last year when Dallas played the Niners, it was a really ugly game, and it did come down to the end, even though the Niners pretty much, dominated the Cowboys on defense. But that game still came down to the end. I keep coming back to this where if I see the Lions playing one of these teams in the playoffs, I don't see them hanging with them. I just don't. I really don't. I don't think the talent's there yet. I don't think the coaching's even there yet. I don't think that they are there yet.
They're a good team.
Who are we talking about? Detroit?
Nick. I think the Lions are ahead of schedule in the rebuild. I do.
Maybe that's true. I'm just saying for this year alone, I think the expectations got way overhyped, and they're coming back down.
Hey, we've been rebuilding for the last 10 years. Are we ahead? No.
You will be with all that draft capital and all that.
I mean, I'll just say this: you guys want to come to the Lions? Like, look, I think right now they're in the benefit that the Packers, the youngest team in the NFL, the Bears still trying to find themselves. The Vikings, we knew they were going to take a hit with all the personnel they lost. So the Lions are kind of benefiting and playing what I would consider one of the not good divisions in the NFL overall.
Well, you said that, but the NFC North has 3 teams in the top 8. No other division has that. We have 3 teams in the top 8 right now. So I get what you're saying.
But let me ask you this, Nick: is that more of it just being poor overall conference play past the top 4 or 5 teams, or is that more of this division is that competitive? Because you can say the same thing about the NFC South. I mean, let's be real, none of those teams are out of it.
The reason why 3 teams in the NFC North are in the top 8 is because the NFC South, the winner of that division right now has a losing record, or has like 500. So it's like, the competition, the NFC is really top heavy, and then after that, it teeters off dramatically, which is why a team like the Packers is 5-6 and they're in the hunt. It's because it's very, very, very top heavy. But to just say, that was my other point. We just like, they're top heavy. So
my son
wanted to get on the podcast.
That's all right.
But I think that's the difference.
I think our division is a lot more competitive than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an absolute shit show. I thought we were going to be the NFC South. We're way better than them, like by a long shot, it seems. So it was at least more competitive than I thought it would be. All I was mentioning was that as bad as it feels the NFC North is, we do have 3 teams in the top 8. I mean, I understand the middle of the pack isn't very good. The bottom is horrible. It's very, very, very top heavy. That's why we're able to have 3 teams. But I was just throwing that out there.
No, I agree with you because of the fact that I thought also NFC North, I thought the team leading the pack might have like 4 wins or something.
I agree with that one.
Just absolutely terrible. But I also thought the Vikings were going to regress because I think they were undefeated in 1-score games last year. I didn't see that happening. You know what I mean? And it obviously
Kirk Cousins down. That really hurts.
They regressed. They weren't gonna win every one of those 1-scores.
Well, see, what's impressive with me with the Vikings is that they're 5-2 without JJ.
Yeah. The Vikings are a hell of a lot better than I thought they were going to be this year.
Wow. Better than I thought it was going to be. Though.
Yeah. I figured their defense was going to be bad and it was going to tank a lot of their games.
Yeah. And they have no running game. They have no real running game. Madison's ain't doing shit.
Yeah,
Akers is out.
I was really surprised at how bad he's done this year because I expected him to be all right.
I feel like Chandler does all right when he gets the ball. I don't think he's
quick.
Bad. Madison is clearly just a pass catching back. He can't do anything other than that.
I'm like Ken. I thought Madison was going to take that next step this season. I really did.
Yes, first. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I drafted him in 3 different fantasy leagues. Yeah. And guess what?
I drafted him too. And they've already gotten rid of him.
And I think Addison's doing a hell of a job for them.
Oh yeah, he's stepped right up.
Addison's nice, man.
Facebook users on a roll, man. I'm waiting for him to diss me, man. Some of the stuff he's saying is pretty funny. He got you good, John.
Yeah, I expect a really good game between the Eagles and the Niners again. I think the Niners will win, but I think it's one of those games where the Niners come out on top in the regular season, and the Eagles will have the last laugh in the playoffs. I think the Eagles will ultimately beat them when it matters. That's why I think the Niners will show up.
Can we talk about the Chiefs now? How badly they're going to get their ass whooped by the Packers?
Let's do that. All right, we're getting to Sunday night football. Everybody gets to watch. I thought we were going to get flexed out. I'm not even going to lie, but we've been competitive lately. So Green Bay is playing the Chiefs on Sunday night football. Patrick Mahomes versus Jordan Love. That doesn't sound as great as it's going to be. I promise you one day that'll be fireworks. But right now it's kind of like Patrick Mahomes versus Jordan Love, right? The Packers defense has been playing better. The Chiefs always seem to show up whenever they need to. This seems like one of those games that they could potentially drop. It just feels like one of those games that maybe they don't show up, man. They're coming to Lambeau. We're hungry. They know that they're good. Maybe we can catch them off guard. They haven't played well the last few weeks. What do you guys think is going to happen?
Nick, let me go here. They're still the Chiefs. They're nowhere near what they were last year. They're still a very good competitive team. With the Chiefs, you have to fight the Zebras. I know you all hate it. You got to even at home. You're going to have to fight the Zebras. but I think you guys could win it. I think it'll be a close game.
So you think no matter what, it's going to be a close game?
Yeah, it can go either way. Like
Yeah.
you said, Nick. It depends what Chiefs team is going to show up. I mean, it's like Detroit. Which Detroit team's going to show up? The one against when they played Baltimore. They could have a shitty week. It depends. I mean, Mahomes versus Love. Yeah, like you said, doesn't look good. You think, oh, Mahomes is going to go out, but I think it's going to come down to defenses, and both defenses have been playing great, so it's going to be a close game.
Oh yeah.
The bad
to go off of
news
your
is I
point-
heard Taylor Swift is back off of tour, and her nipples are going to be totally erect in that frozen tundra.
Yeah, you said erect. All right. Yep.
Go ahead, Ken. Take it.
Yeah, to go off of your point there, that I think that what the game's really going to come down to is if we can get past Kansas City's defense, because besides Travis Kelce, there's not anybody I'm worried about on Kansas City's offense. Besides,
No, that right. I don't know. You got
Pachenko's quick. He's good.
That's what I was
What
about
about
to say.
Marquez
besides
Valdez
the running back.
We should just leave MVS open. We should play 11 on 10 and leave MVS open all game.
Yeah.
He's not.
Oh, yeah.
He'll catch
Wow.
maybe 1 out of 10.
Oh
right?
yeah,
That's why y'all let him
he
go.
does just enough to make you think, oh man, he could really be good. But then, as soon as he's wide open in the end zone, he's dropping everything.
And they would give him $10 million.
And I really like MVS. Dude seems like a nice guy. He's got some good talent, but for some reason, this dude's got hands of fucking stone.
Dude, he's like a Brandon Bostic to us. At
Oh
this
my
point.
god, I wouldn't put him that far back. But
all right,
Bostic, I'm pretty sure still can't go into Green Bay.
Dorn.
Honestly,
we'll get to you next. Shaq, you're next. Dorn, go ahead and take it.
My bad. Do your thing.
Well, I'm thinking like you guys were saying, their offense hasn't really been looking all the greatest, but their defense is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Their defense is pretty damn good. But what I think it comes down to is we got to tackle. We got to tackle. We got to tackle good. We got to pressure like we did last week against the Lions. And what's going to happen? Another thing is footing. Are they going to have good footing? Are they going to slip? And we're going to get an interception or something, from them slipping or something, and turnovers. Just because, slippery it is. It's going to be cold, and that field's always pretty slippery when it's cold.
Yeah. All right, and then we got Shaq, the Eagles fan, outside perspective. His team has played the Chiefs. He knows what they're all about. What do you think?
So, first point I want to make is just like, who was it, Chad? This is not the same Kansas City offense everybody was so terrified of, putting up 35-plus points a game, 400-plus yards. They just don't have that in them, right? And then secondly, if I'm not mistaken, that game against the Raiders last week was the first time in the last how many games they actually scored points in the second half. So again, I do think it boils down to defense. The Green Bay Packers defense is looking really good. And I honestly, at this point, besides Travis Kelce, do think Green Bay has more weapons. And if Watson and Reed and these guys can show up, I really think that it's at home, right? It's in Green Bay.
Yep. It's in Green Bay. Yep.
I really think Green Bay can squeak this one out by three.
I think so too.
Points. I really, really do. I'm not just saying that because y'all Green Bay Packers fans, you know what I mean, whatever. But y'all let go of MVS for a reason. This man has a whole highlight tape of wide open touchdown passes dropped from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen. So if you're dropping passes from him, now you're over here with Patrick Mahomes, nothing's going to change. These guys aren't going to wake up one day and just all of a sudden have hands like DeAndre Hopkins and all these guys. They're not going to just all of a sudden be able to catch every ball that touches their hands. So outside of Travis Kelce, that's what we did. We bracketed Travis and said, hey, MVS, you guys, go make a play. And they couldn't do it. So I think with the Green Bay Packers defense, they can do the same exact thing. And if it's a close game at the end, I think Green Bay can squeak this one out. And I got Green Bay winning by 3.
I don't know if it comes down to Carlson kicking it. I don't know. I'm gonna be fucking nervous.
Oh God, dude, Carlson's been just fine.
Carlson is trash. Doesn't his brother play for the Raiders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst guy we got. So, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back around the panel. Give us your scores. Ken, go.
I'm going to say we'll go 27-24 Green Bay squeaking it out.
And you stole my damn score. That's my
And
score.
then go Niners Chiefs. Or Niners Chiefs. Niners Eagles.
Oh God.
That'd be you, Ken.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Niners Eagles. Ooh. I think this one is going to end up being a shootout. Ooh. Ooh. Man.
I'm broadcasting the game, so you can't ask me a score.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna pin it down. I'm gonna say they're both gonna be in the 30s.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I think that they're gonna be able to work out both of the teams because I honestly think Philadelphia's receivers. I think Philadelphia's receivers make up for Christian McCaffrey, but I do think that the 49ers do end up squeaking it out.
Yeah.
All right. Dorn, Packers versus Chiefs, Eagles versus Niners scores.
73-0 Packers.
You're close. I got it. 24 Packers, 21 Chiefs. It's gonna be a close game. And then the 49ers and Eagles. I'm going. I go 27-24 Eagles.
All right.
Fucking
Jack
homer.
is chomping at the bits. Go for it.
My boy John.
Yeah.
John just likes any team with the color green, except the Jets.
I'm with Ken. I'm with Ken on the Packers game. I got him 27-24 Packers. And then Eagles, baby, I got it 31-28 Eagles.
All right. Chad, you're up.
Packers, I really do think they can win. It's going to be close. It's going to be a 1 to 3 point game, and I don't think it's going to be that high scoring because the weather's probably going to be really crappy because it's going to be crappy here in Michigan on Sunday too. I'm going to go 28-27 Packers there. And as far as Philly and San Fran, I think San Fran's going to win by probably 3. I'm thinking, but I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than what we think, even though two great defenses going together. I'm thinking like 35-31 San Fran.
Yeah, that's roughly what I was thinking. I really think that this is going to end up being an explosion of offense with these teams because they're used to going up against these hard defenses in practice.
Yeah.
Hey, Facebook user, you didn't realize that Nick is John Dorn's son? What's wrong with you?
I feel bad that he didn't make fun of me yet. Damn.
Oh,
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
What did he say?
Like Danny DeVito did. Oh no, that was
Greg.
That was Greg.
He
Woody.
must be a Bears fan.
That's what I was thinking. So everybody picked
podcasting apparently, and maybe he's being the bookie this week. I don't know what he's got going on, but what do you think the scores will be, Woody?
So everybody picked Green Bay, huh?
I think everybody did Green Bay.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't gone yet.
Playing, man, it's not going to be a walk in the park. I really do think
No, I did. It's going to come down to the defenses with that game.
Yeah,
oh God, MVS is going to have a fire in his ass going back home.
I think that's a good thing for us. He's going to try too hard and drop everything.
I think it's going to be. I think Green Bay at home. I'm going to pick the home team because, like I said, it's a tough way. I'm going to say 16-13 Green Bay.
Woo!
And I'm going to go because that Niners too. It depends what Niners team is going to show up too. And their Eagles are at home, but I don't like their home stadium. So
the link, baby, the link.
Yeah, the link my ass. Like I said, I picked the Niners all this week, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say 30-27.
All right, Greg. Packers Chiefs score, Niners Eagles score.
We'll go right to the Detroit score.
Yeah,
Packers
Packers
are
at
home.
home. I'll take the Packers. Look, I'll just say it here. Look, Mahomes, magical best player in the league. I get that. They're just missing something, and it's pretty obvious they're missing a pass catching target. I think they're a beatable team. I mean, Lions beat them to open the season. Granted, they were obviously down Kelsey and Chris Jones, but I think it's a beatable team, and I think the Packers can absolutely win that. Yeah, like I said, I'll take the Niners versus the Eagles. Kind of alluding to what Nick said, and then who am I taking? The Lions or Saints? I got the Lions on this one. I think the Saints are incredibly banged up. No, I'm not even being a homer here, you guys. I just think the Saints are really banged up. They're missing some key skill position players. Some of the key defensive players are questionable too at this time. If the Lions lose this, though, there's going to be rumblings, and people looking over the back of their shoulder at the Vikings and Packers.
There we go. There we go.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start with, I'm going to go with Niners, Eagles. I got Niners 27, Eagles 24. I think it's going to just be one of those like bash out games at the end that wins by a field goal. If you guys remember when I picked the Eagles Bills game, I said there would be some field goal at the very end that wins the game. Woo! Lo and behold, in the fucking overtime. That's just going to be a really close game no matter what happens. Now, Packers and Chiefs. It's going to be 40 Chiefs, Packers 28.
Damn.
Jordan Love is going to have a good game. It's going to be a game that we should have been in, and we're supposed to prove that we're getting better and we're getting to that higher point of our season, and they're going to let us down very dramatically.
Wow, I'm impressed, Nick. Hey, I want to say this too. I think the Bears are going to beat the bye week, but I think it's going to be a field goal.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a very close one.
Week out the bye week.
Yeah, absolutely, with another 4 field goals.
So I'm gonna bet on the Bears not scoring a touchdown for the second week in a row, though.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and do Lions Saints. I think the Lions beat the Saints 28-17.
Yeah.
The Saints have just, dude, Derek Carr was supposed to make them better, and he and they look like fucking trash all the time. They just, like, every time I'm like, dude,
Dennis Allen.
The Saints should have this game, right? Like, the Saints should have this in the bag. Dude, they just get whacked every time I think that. So I'm not going with it, man. 17 Lions and 2-0 Bears.
I got Saints
score is that? I love it.
I got Saints winning. I think they're going to be more hungrier. They're at the home, and they need this game more badly than the Lions. I'm telling you straight up honest. They're not playing the greatest right now. They're not. And I just don't.
True.
I mean, they need to win this game. The Lions do. This to prove themselves that to get back on track. If they don't, if they lose this game, they better panic real fast.
Yeah, I got to be honest. As much as I think the Lions will beat the Saints, and I think that they'll beat them somewhat handily, I do feel like there's a lot of pressure on the Lions right now. Like, you have to bounce back from what just happened these last few weeks.
They have to win this game.
You have to show everybody that you can play the Saints, who you should beat, and not just beat them. You guys should, like, demoralize them, because if you don't, and let's say the Lions win by a field goal at the very end of the game, people are just going to continue saying, like, see, they're not as good as they thought they were. That's going to continue.
Yep. When the fans are going to go, we're 9-1, don't matter how we win.
Well,
most NFL games are won by one score, most of them. So,
but if you're winning by one,
if
you're winning by one score at the very end,
quarterbacks win one.
If you win by a field goal at the very end of the game to win the game, that's different than scoring a touchdown at the end of the Packers game to make it a one-score game and lose by 7, right? That game was never really in hand. Like, there was a chance at the end. If the Lions play par with the Saints all game and then they win by a field goal at the end, people are going to keep saying they're just not that good. That's going to happen.
Agreed.
I don't think the Saints line is as good as even as good as yours. So I think Aiden will get a couple sacks this game. It's all about the turnovers. I do think the Lions are going to win. I do think it'll be a one-score game. and it'll be a one-score game because all the turnovers we've had recently, we're just going to manage the clock. We're going to run the ball with our two-headed monster. It's going to be probably a 7-point game, 30-23.
Well, in all my fantasy leagues, I have 7 fantasy leagues, and I'm in first place in 5 of them, and I have St. Brown on all of them. So I'm picking Detroit to win 32-17. St. Brown's going to have 3 touchdown catches.
Wow.
For me. And you heard it here.
I have St. Brown in 2 of my leagues also. I'd like him to score.
Yeah, I like Detroit in this matchup too. Like Greg, all the points you guys have made are solid when it comes to this wacky ass Saints team, which they have the chance to still potentially win the NFC South, which is just crazy to me because those teams are all fucking garbage. But it's to me, it's Detroit by a mile. I got Detroit 35, New Orleans 17. Easy win.
That division is beyond weird. They are like this extremely mediocre, wacky.
Atlanta is still in the hunt because they could win out and
but look at how their teams are constructed though. You got Derek Carr and you got Winston on the bench. Derek Carr is supposed to help. It's not working that well. You have you got Baker Mayfield who looked good at first and now it's just falling apart again. And it's like
Desmond Ritter. You never know what you're going to get from that man week by week. You have no clue.
And then the Falcons thought they had something in Desmond Ritter, and they benched him because he's playing so bad, and they don't know what they're doing anymore.
Whoa, Nick, he's the best fourth quarter quarterback right now statistically, dude.
Holy shit!
Have you seen Bijan run?
He has the highest. Shut the fuck up! I ain't no damn Lions fan.
And you know what's crazy about Carolina? Carolina, I believe, has the number one
one-win team.
They have the number 6 ranked defense in the league. It's fucking crazy, like how that's possible, and they're so terrible.
They lose to teams, but the scores are low. Like they're not giving up a lot. They just can't score because Bryce Young just can't do shit. It's just bad over there.
These teams are weird in the NFC
and
South.
You know it's got to be shitty to know that you're going to be the worst team in the league, and that number 1 overall pick doesn't even go to you.
Yeah, that suck, huh?
And
you
put all
they're
that
punching themselves in the face when they're like, "We'll trade up to get Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud just over there."
Going now.
And so that's got to be like the weirdest division in the league because, like, for example, when you look at the NFC North, even though, like, for example, the Bears are not very good this year, you still see the direction that they're trying to go in. You see what they're trying to do. The Vikings, before Kirk Cousins went down, you already knew who the Vikings were. You knew who the Lions were. You see what Green Bay is trying to do. They're trying to replicate what past success. So all these teams have a path and a way to success. In the NFC South, you just don't know what any of them are doing at this point. It's like you don't know who any of these teams are.
Who the hell's slurping a Slurpee?
My phone is making that weird ass sound. I don't know what's going on.
So that's our scores for the games. I got the Packers getting whipped. I do. Sorry. I got the Niners winning barely. I got the Lions winning handily. We'll see the Bears very soon, on the last week of the season. That'll be a fun game. See what kind of implications there are.
Nick, who has Kansas City, KC blown out this year? Have they even blown anybody out?
They blew out the Raiders, but the Raiders were kicking their ass to begin the game, and then the Chiefs just blew them out after that. Now look, after watching the Raiders do what they did in the first quarter, I could see Green Bay doing that and then not giving up the lead. I think we have a good enough team that if we do that right away, we're not going to give the lead back up. The Raiders got trounced after that first quarter because of the fucking Raiders, man. They're not a very good football team. I know we lost to them.
You realize, Nick, you are the only person that picked the Packers to lose this week.
That's fine. That's an honest assessment.
Boys, I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I got to do stuff out of here. Really appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you,
man.
next week. Have a good one.
Go Birds.
See you next week.
I go for sure.
I'll see you guys next week, man. Appreciate it as always. Take care.
So we're basically finishing the last part of all of this up. Ken is a fan of women with beards, I guess, is what. So those were our score predictions. We basically went through everything other than, going into like the Dolphins or some obscure team like that. We've basically gone into everything. We've hit the 2-hour mark of our show. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show. Thank you, everybody that watched the show. This was actually a really good show tonight. I could tell from the numbers already. I'm going to let everybody do what I let everybody do at the end of the show. I'll let you have your last sign off, and then we'll get out of here. So, Greg, go ahead and do the honors. What's your last words, sign off, anything you want to throw out there?
I just want the Lions to take the division and win a playoff game. That's all I want. All I want.
All right, Chad, you can follow Greg with that.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for too. It's not too much to ask for, that for Christmas, even though just win the division, win a playoff game. There's no way that we'll beat San Fran or Philly. We just won't.
Agreed.
And one pride.
All right. John Dorn, go for it.
All I want is the Lions to lose out. The Packers to win out. The Bears to lose out. I mean, they're going to anyway. It don't matter. Vikings,
you don't need to hope for that one.
We all know they're going to lose out automatically. So, but anyways, I think the Packers are going to win this week, and we're going to take the division, and then we're going to get in the playoffs, and we're going to do some damage.
All right. Ken?
All right. Now, this season will be successful in my eyes if we just get 2 more wins.
2 more?
And then we get a nice special show of Nick getting a nice cheese Superman.
That tattoo's going to hurt, but I'll get it.
I can use a golf jersey for fucking use it as a rig, like getting low on rigs.
I'm going to sign off with this year. Green Bay is undefeated when I pick them to lose. So I'm really hoping that trend stays true. All I really want is to get into the playoffs because unlike Lions fans, I think we can fucking do it as long as we just make it to the dance. I've seen it before. I know that we can fucking do it. We're the Green Bay goddamn motherfucking Packers, bro. We can win it all. We can beat the Niners. We can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, all right?
Now you're talking my language.
And you know what? There's one team that's up at the top right now that I know for a fact we can beat in the playoffs, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. I know for a living fact, man. Come back to Green Bay. In fact, you know what? Fuck that. We'll come to your house and beat your ass again.
Just like we own the Bears, just like we own the Lions, just like we own
the Cowboys. Go look up our last, 11 games? 10 games? Dude, we own their ass. Tell Dak that we're coming for his ass. It's on. So
Cowboys are playing good right now, though. They have been.
They are until they meet the Green Bay Packers.
They're full of gold, just like the Lions.
There's the big X factor of Mike McCarthy. He'll find a way to lose it.
Yeah. And this time, Jordan Love is going to roll right, and he's going to throw off his back right foot across the field for a dime to win the game. Watch, it'll happen. It'll be very Aaron Rodgers-esque.
Hey, is Musgrave getting better? When's he coming back? Because he's like looks like
he's going to be out for a bit because I'm pretty sure it's a lacerated kidney he had.
Yeah. But Kraft's doing good, man. He looked good last week against you guys. He shot fucking Hutchinson out of the way and fucking got a touchdown. Ran in for touchdown. Went for a touchdown.
So it says, I don't even see Musgrave on there, so they must have put him on IR.
Yeah, I can see that. That's going to take a while to heal.
Yeah,
he'll be out for
because I'm pretty sure it was an elevated grade of it too. That he had a lot of blood surrounding the kidney.
There's the plays he played through it.
Jones now.
He didn't want to come out of the game.
It looks like they have a lot of our guys.
He's a tough bastard and all, but you don't want to go down to one kidney.
No.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we got. That's all we got for our show. Thank you for watching Frozen Tundra Network. We will see you again on Friday night.
Have a good one, man. Go Pack,
Thanks
go.
for having me, Nick.
Go Pack, go.
Sure, always. Go Pack, go, baby.
Go Lions.